defenders, I think, it's like.
Are we live? Of course we are. People, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. Good evening to those of you who are like myself and over here in the UK. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, and of course good night, depending on where else you guys are in this world. Very appreciative that the brand and the DG Nation is global and those things. Do me a favor, hit the like button. Better than that, I hope everyone's doing well and safe. They've got their health and all of those things, and your loved ones. I hope you're all in good spirits. And yeah, man, welcome to the Arsenal deadline day live stream with myself. Hopefully we can announce some signings. It does look like we'll, confirm the signing of a certain right back. We all know where we stand with that, and whatnot. But, it is what it is. And I know generally, if you've been looking at the window of recent, it looks a bit crazy, really and truly. You look at it, Griezmann might be going back to Atletico. PSG are rejecting serious offers for Mbappe, Saul going to Chelsea on loan. Technically Cristiano Ronaldo's been signed on deadline day. It's crazy, man. There's all little sort of things, and there'll probably be other things filtering out. If you're a Celtic fan, even Celtic are doing some business. I'm just trying to be humble. I just wanted a midfielder, but it doesn't look like we're getting one at Arsenal Football Club. So we're going to have to make do. Let's get this to 100 likes, like my man AM has said. Shout out to all the members, them as well. I love you guys. But yeah, man, hopefully it's a positive one for us, man. All I want is a midfielder, man. That's all I want. Humble midfielder. But it's not looking like it's going to happen, is it, folks? Let's see what happens, man. Get your opinions in and whatnot, people. Just YouTube is telling me to type something in. Okay, cool. I'll type my title in again. Fair play. How you doing today, DG? DG, do you read football books? And if so, could you suggest some? Pep Guardiola's autobiography, anything Arsene Wenger's done, anything attached to the name of Sir Alex Ferguson. I haven't finished it, but I've started Mesut Ozil's book and Mertesacker's book. I need to get back into it. I've just finished 50 Cent's one. But yeah, man. How you doing? I'm good, my guy, man. This is the third and final live stream. Hopefully it's a good one and one to remember. Can't complain, man. AM's not happy. Bare centre-backs in this club. Quantity over quality, I'd say. Keeping Ainsley Maitland-Niles and signing a new right back makes even less sense. Ainsley Maitland-Niles is even further down the pecking order. Boy, we'll have to see. And I think that sets it up perfectly, really, really and truly. For our first timestamp, Maitland-Niles allegedly has had clear the air talks. So yeah, he's set to stay at Arsenal. Sorry, folks. Here we have it. What minute is that? 3. Sorry, folks. So yeah, if I share my screen with you guys, where is it gone now? Here it is. Again, we've been up and down and just about everywhere else in relation to Maitland-Niles. We've been around the houses, but the latest where Ainsley is concerned, apparently Ainsley Maitland-Niles is set to stay at Arsenal after holding cleared the air talks with Mikel Arteta. As Spaniard assures the utility man he is part of his plans this season, despite his plea to leave, obviously with Everton being interested. And obviously the social media antics. Allegedly, Sportsmail reported on Monday how Arteta had ignored the England international's pleas to join Everton, who had made a formal offer to take the versatile player on loan with an option to buy after the Gunners had blocked the move. And he's yet to start a game this season. He's just been off the bench. And I wouldn't even say he's even really had a senior part to play in preseason, but I'm trying to sieve down to the points that was actually relevant. We know it escalated. We know there was talks and whatnot, but apparently he was facing the prospect of training away from the first team squad, obviously after what happened yesterday. But the player and Mikel Arteta have held constructive talks this afternoon, during which Maitland-Niles was told he will feature in the club's plans this season. there was still a chance on Monday afternoon that the 24-year-old could still leave the Emirates Stadium, but he'll now remain in North London until at least January. Maitland-Niles has told Arteta he wants to play right back this season, the position he obviously broke into the England setup playing. As we know, he's got 3 players ahead of him, and if we look at it, Ben White can play there now. You know, TT, who's agreed personal terms and had his medical ahead of a move from Bologna to Arsenal, can play there. You've still got Chambers, you've still got Cedric, who, if we look at it, they're ahead of him at the pecking order because they both started games. So again, if I could, listen, I can have all my criticisms about the club and Arteta's handling of him, but if history repeats itself and Maitland-Niles is seeking to leave come January, he has himself to blame. At 24 years of age, you need to seize your future. You can't be looking at guys to throw you a bone and whatnot, pause and whatnot. So yeah, he's played only 19 minutes this season at 24 years of age. It's an absolute mazza. As you know, the saga took another turn this week after reports he had been banished from the first team training after going public with his demands to quit. However, the Mirror claimed he was told to conduct his sessions away from the rest of the squad following his outburst. Obviously, it's an elephant in the room. Everyone wants to hear about it, and it could, escalate further. Arteta was already disappointed with his player over his post, having already killed off hopes of a move to Goodison Park in a face-to-face meeting. The possibility of Ainsley Maitland-Niles being successful at a direct rival may have influenced the club's decision to keep him. However, it's understood the 24-year-old left the meeting confused as to why the club had vetoed his move north. Having arrived believing the meeting would be primarily about resolving his future, it is understood Mikel Arteta was at pains to express his disappointment at the player's social media outburst, to which he is, he shouldn't have done it, but why has he got to that point? He's tried to stay in quiet. Apparently, during the last window, Arsenal blocked a potential move to Liverpool and Leicester before allowing him to join West Brom. So, yeah, if Liverpool were trying to get you, defo should feel aggrieved, really and truly, if I'm honest with you. But it is where it is. That's where we're at with Maitland-Niles. He looks set to stay at the Emirates until January at least. Time will tell if he gets an opportunity. Media is capping, especially as T has played regular at right back. He's a right back, man. And he's decent 1v1. I hope that's 2 positive things. He can play centre half. Obviously, Arsenal and specifically Mikel Arteta, they blur the lines between versatility and shoehorning individuals into teams. And the thing that annoys me is you look around the squad, you don't really know what people are. Maitland-Niles can play everywhere. What is he? Tavares, what are you? You've played right back. You've come on left wing and them things there. What are you? Still a lot of refinement. Even if you look at Martinelli, we know what he is, but what are you? There's still a lot of refining in a lot of players. Hardest working man on YouTube. Your work ethic is a thing to be coveted, bro. Richard, I appreciate that. One love, man. But it wouldn't be anything without you guys. You lot make everything all sweet in that, man. Every transfer we've made this summer is a gamble on the future, and Arsenal is not a lucky club as of late, so I'm not optimistic. I'm not an Arsenal fan, but I suggest you lot play a back three. I would like us to primarily play a 4 at the back, but I would like to see a back three when the time calls for it. Having that fear again that the lack of midfielders will cost us throughout the season. You just can't go into the season with 5 midfielders who are the most important part of your team. And the thing is, have we even got 5? How many of them are pure centre midfielders, not the ODEGAARDs and Smith Rowes, where I believe you can play an 8. How many guys are, if you're a deep liar, you're box to box, you're a 6, you're an 8. What are you? You look at Partey, you look at Xhaka, you look at really Lokonga. And then he's been linked with moves to Turkey. Whether he goes to Turkey is anybody's guess, people. Is anybody's guess. Where is that tweet? Because apparently for all the interest in a move to Turkey, apparently there's nothing's been really said. I can't find it, but one of the journalists were even saying that there's interest, but nothing's been put on the table. If there's no offers or anything feasible on the table, then no one's in the negotiating room. So he's here. So again, you're praying no one gets injured. Even on the best of days, we need to upgrade that midfield, but we buckled that opportunity, and it all started with probably giving Granit Xhaka a new deal and not upgrading on Xhaka anyways. Whether Xhaka was staying or going and the Roma interest was a thing, you need to upgrade on that. We've been having these talks and these live streams about, have we got a partner for Partey? Is there a suitable midfielder? Does Xhaka bring much to the table? Does his pros to what he brings to us in a positive sense outweigh the negative cons? The answer has been no. We buckled that chance. We buckled in really fixing up in terms of depth. At best, the best partnership for me we're looking at is probably Lokonga and Partey. And even that, if we're real with ourselves, that's not expansive enough, really and truly. They ain't got enough about them in midfield. They'll do a job for us and they can do their thing. But if you understand football, we can't. It's not got enough balance in there. We already can't break down low blocks as it is, and nothing to do with the players, because as in a squad they can complement it. Everyone gets their time and all of those sort of things. Appreciate that armpit. White, Gabriel, and T in the back three ain't that bad. I've never seen it, man. It. You know what? It doesn't matter on paper. It's about, for me, it's the attitude towards defending. Like, we look even more open in the three. So for me, I need to see the attitudes to defending, or it doesn't matter what players we sign, who plays in back threes, back fours. You're still gonna make these silly mistakes. And again, if we're playing out from the back in the back three, for what Arteta wants to do anyways, there's already too much problems playing out from the back. In a back three, as you lot know, your centre halves have to be press resistant if you want to do this thing to a serious level. They have to be confident. They have to be able to play a ball, and they have to be able to do it when they're being pressed. How many Arsenal fans can do all? I mean, Arsenal players, sorry, can do all of that. You lot know the answer, and you lot can draw your own conclusions. I'd take Donny van der Beek, especially on loan again, but it's not going to happen, is it? You know, I don't know what's going on with his future. Surely a move would have been patterned by now. Partey, Xhaka, El Nene, maybe, and Lokonga are midfield options. Aouar was a must. Edu is on a serious joke team. No, even if you don't want to bring Aouar, bring someone else. The midfield ain't strong enough. And we're betting on a lot, man. Time's ticking. I'm scared we won't get a centre mid. The centre mid shouts, they're gone now, man. If it was happening, it would have happened. It's gone now. We have to just accept that one, hold that one. It is what it is. It's finished, man. Like, Partey would have been in this situation. There's no release clause to save us this time. It's peak. Absolutely peak, people. I can't cap to you, but we keep going, man. Hit the like button if you haven't already. YouTube, leave me alone. See, West Ham just signed Vlasic from CSKA Moscow. Don't necessarily rate the player, but ambition. You know, they've also signed Alex Kyle on loan. You know, he played for Czech Republic, the curly hair, David Luiz sort of hair guy that was playing at the Euros. He's all right. Further strengthening the Czech Republic contingent at West Ham. Again, Saul agreed a loan to Chelsea. All I wanted was a centre mid, man. We'll have to see, man. You know, in relation to the deal for our new signing, Charles Watts reckons, he is saying it sounds like the T deal could run until quite late in the evening. Bellerin's loan to Betis is still expected to be confirmed. RUNNARSON, the other player who should get his deal done before the deadline, out on loan. Obviously, as said, Ainsley Maitland-Niles will still be selling. So as we know, Bellerin, in terms of signing TT, he's done his medical in his personal terms. We hear the same logic where Bellerin is. So there's probably a bit more intricate dealings and I's to dot and T's to cross and legal paperwork before we see confirmation for both players' futures. So, you know, the craziest things that have happened in Arsenal regard this today really has been Ainsley Maitland-Niles. It appears he is staying. You know, Bellerin will finally be leaving the football club. El Nene could be going to Turkey. But in terms of hardcore evidence, you know, just a number of squad players going out on loan. And yeah, man, bringing in a right back. I think that's it. You know, maybe we'll sit there and try and see what we can do in January, but I don't think that's good enough. If I'm completely honest with you, I don't think that's enough. I really don't. But we'll have to see, man. We'll really have to see. I feel we spent decent amount of money, and I hear what we're doing. You know, players of tomorrow, all of those sort of things. They've all got potential, but we still have to do things today. And I don't think the thing is, I look at that team and I even, not to get at ODEGAARD or Ben White, I look at them and I can't ask myself, are we significantly better? Now, I think they will come good, but I just think we needed a couple signings that were for now. Do your youngster thing, but just even just 1-2 signings, like a centre back, a centre mid, 2 centre midfielders personally, that could have done something, but it is what it is. To recap over the Bellerin thing, allegedly, you know, the Athletic or David Ornstein of the Athletic has said Real Betis have reached an agreement with Arsenal for the loan of Hector Bellerin. The deal does not include an option to buy the 26-year-old. The Athletic understands all the documents are signed ahead of the move, with the clubs waiting on a green light from La Liga. The deal is expected to be completed before tonight's deadline. So within the next few hours, Bellerin will be officially agreed. I know with La Liga and Betis. I think they have to free up a spot in their squad. There was talk it could be Fekir's brother. You know, at this point, you give us Fekir on loan. Obviously, Bellerin, you know, he's taking a cut. We'll get a loan fee. There is P's. And what we're hoping is he has a standout season for Betis to tempt them to present Arsenal with an offer. Or hopefully he being in La Liga, he's been linked with Barca, he's been linked with Atletico, been linked with Villarreal, been linked with Seville. Hopefully he plays well enough to drum up interest. You know, I hope he gets called up to the Spanish squad and things like that. He might want to come back if he develops. We have to, I don't believe it will happen, but we have to open ourselves up for the fact he can improve. For me, because there's no buy option, I want you to do well. Like there's an option, there's no obligation. And I think the same is in Torreira's deal. If these lot have shaky seasons, then we're going to have to deal with a lot next season, because next season, in theory, if worse comes to worse, Bellerin's going to have a year or so left on his deal. He's going to come back. And if he has a shaky season, our people looking at that. We kind of already went through that already with Torreira, so Torreira be returning. You're going to have to sign a keeper next summer, unless Leno turns around and says, I want to stay. So you've got that. You probably need to bring in a forward. You need a midfielder. You got from January to then. So it is what it is. Shout out Bellerin. His dad supports Betis. It's a chance to play in La Liga. It's a new start. Obviously playing in Spain. If you play well, Luis Enrique might be watching you that much deeper. So go do your thing. But it's a relationship that needed to end a long time ago. So I can't, again, we're going to make sure you're here at 11:30 tomorrow, people, 11:30 a.m. Because obviously we'll be speaking about, we'll review the transfer business of Arsenal and contextualize all of it more as a whole. So I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, man, I don't know how I really feel about this window, if I'm completely honest with you. Make sure you're coming in and hitting the like button. Disappointed with Lingard. He's moving like a side man. Why would you say that, bro? I just so I can tap into your thoughts. Pause. Are you confident of going into the season with Aubameyang, Laka, Balogun up front, and only Saka and Pepe true wingers now that Nelson's out? I mean, Martinelli can play there. Smith Rowe can do a job out there. Odegaard can do a job out there. You got young players that might be able to do a thing. I'm more confident in the attacking options than I am in midfield or at centre half. That's me personally. Like I think I hear it. We need a striker long term. We need a striker when nobody's scoring. But if I'm Arteta, I think you can score goals. I think that it's more of a coach. I think it could be more things could be addressed in a coaching front from the attackers. I don't believe in the midfield options. Yeah, we've bought Ben White, but defense, it looks a bit shaky. So, boy, I'm more confident in the attackers than anyone. But saying that, they're not firing at all. We ain't scored a goal in the league this year. Yeah, we beat West Brom's under nines, but it is what it is. Edu was literally offered Aouar, but said nah, even though it's been obvious we need a creative midfielder since the Brentford game, maybe earlier. I think what I can conclude from that is they don't see Aouar as an 8, which is weird, but they don't see him as someone that's either disciplined, good enough, the best sort of signing to play next to a Partey in midfield or a Lokonga or whatever. They see him as clearly a 10. Obviously he's not the same as Odegaard, but they clearly see him as that role because they didn't go in for him. Now, they still could have went in for him. And, like you lot know, last season we was willing to spend 50 odd M's on him. He's there for 25. They're even saying loan with an option to buy. There's a lot worse that we could have done, It is what it is. He looked like he was even going Real Madrid, and the Real Madrid thing's gone. Apparently, he's staying at Lyon because they can't get a replacement. And, if he has a super season with the World Cup again, Real Madrid are building a French contingent. You might get there out of everyone. When I speak about the Haalands, the Mbappe's, not to the same level, but the Aouars, we rarely talk about Barcelona being interested. Out of all the quote-unquote prestigious biggest clubs, I think they need these sort of guys the most, man. So, is what it is. It's quite upsetting, though. Saka, Smith Rowe overrated in my opinion. Who are going to suffer good youth prospects. I do think people forget their kids. I don't think they're overrated though. So that's harsh, man. AM, you're not happy at all. I mean, but nobody rates Saka like that. Like nobody said he can be world class or whatever. He needs to start scoring goals. He's just a good player and he's going to go on to be a better one. I do think he's special in his own little way. But I think with Arsenal, this is the problem. Smith Rowe's been there for 2 seconds. Saka's been there for 2 minutes. And these are the guys, testament to them. More problems with the rest of the Arsenal squad and the recruitment that these 2 young players and a couple of others, Martinelli's been there throughout his Arsenal period where he's had to carry the team. We've loved his enthusiasm. We're not really saying that about the older heads. And that says a lot about them. That says a lot about the club. You shouldn't be in this. When Cesc Fabregas coming into the first team, who have you got? Fair enough, we was hardly winning. Well, we wasn't winning Premier League titles, but, Cesc got his little apprenticeship. Then when, Cesc is kind of a big man in this, Wilshere is coming through. He's looking left. He's looking right. He's seeing serious things. He's seeing serious players. You're seeing what you want to be like. You're seeing ambition. You see Ronaldo. Obviously, Ronaldo's an extreme example. But there's going to be guys that are never going to play for Man United that never get past the under 23s. But because they've got to train in the first team and see Ronaldo, a brain spark is going to go off in their head. They're going to get mentality. So that's going to go from getting released and maybe getting a part-time job and the football career ending to having a steady career. It's going to be infectious. You need them sort of things there. And you look at this first team, who's infectious? Probably Tierney. But, you know, it's all clicky at this club. Before you even can chat to Tierney, certain men that are leaving are probably saying, don't talk to him. He tries too hard in training. He's too rough in training and all of these things. You know, I don't think Smith Rowe and Saka are like that. But just, you know, naturally as humans, we get complacent. Just imagine they thought, yeah, it's all right. You know, man's 19, 20. No one can talk to me. This guy's an OG, he's dead. You know, I don't really, the gaffer's moving a bit of a sideman. The fans know my thing. I'm scoring and that. You can see how, you know, you saw with Guendouzi in different circumstances came in, you know, thought this is comfy, you know, I can be the next Petit and that. There was no one there to just slap the back of his head and say, chill off, calm down, to the point where he's been exiled now. I get both sides of it because if I'm a gaffer, I can't lie, with the way Arsenal is, as great as I think Guendouzi could have been for us, you know, you ain't got time for that. There's a bare problems, not much less knowing if this guy's going to behave himself. But guys talk about character. The man's got it. Saliba, again, I don't think it's the wrong thing loaning him out. What I have question marks is the lack of clarity. It was never made abundantly clear. My man's not ready. You always got the vibe. He's half here, half not. He's having pre-season, then he's not. You know, I don't know what we're doing. And then for me, as I've always maintained, you know, the one thing I thought Arteta would have had minimum here was a style of play. Admittedly, maybe I was clearly naive. I would have thought, again, victim of the propaganda pieces, that the minimum he would have come in here, some style of play, the young players would have been all right. I actually thought, you know what, yo, we've got that sort of Arsene Wenger in that, like, I know young players are going to be all right. Like, for me, I knew, you know, these young guys would be all right. Like, I can only imagine Saka, Guendouzi, Saliba under Wenger. They might not be world-class players, but I know they're going to be all right. I don't know if people are going to be all right under Arteta because, as I said, with the experienced players, he's getting players and he's buying players, and we don't know what's going on. Like, he asked for Willian, so that's you in it. Fair enough. Signings don't work in it. Wenger and Ferguson and Jose and all these Pep, they've all had signings that are duds, but like it would happen. But the problem, the benefit is they've had more successes. You know, fair enough. The Willian thing didn't work. It's a mark against you, but it didn't work. Then the Cedric one didn't work. Marie clearly looks out of his depth, and fans, I can't, you know, fans can say that Marie's out of his depth, but you lot were like Arteta, same way. The guy played 2 games. People are saying he's our best centre half. He's not been levels, you know. There's certain guys that haven't been levels. The young ones that are already at this club when Arteta's there. Fair enough, I'm not at training, but I haven't seen enough evident improvement, much less. I don't even know what the plan is. I wonder, what are you doing with Martinelli? What are your plans for Smith Rowe and Saka? Because these guys are used all over the place and things like that. How are you know? I weren't really happy with what you did with Gabriel. Ben White's of that same sort of guy, build and whatnot, and stage in his career. So now we've spent 100-odd million on guys of this that might be good tomorrow and 5 years from now, but Arteta hasn't shown me he can develop them. Now I want to be wrong. I want to look at it, but I can only comment on what I see. Same way, if it was working, I'd give you a dues, but your fair dues where fit, but it's gazy, man. It's very gazy, people. It's very gazy. Make sure you're hitting the like button, people, if you haven't already. The man management, and that's what annoyed me, because I heard you worked with Nelson and Sane and things like that. Then I'm seeing things like individual coaches are coming into the job. So I'm thinking, all right, cool. We're getting guys whose jobs are to look at players from an individual point and do their thing. So I'm thinking, all right, cool. If the communication and the the way you like, what's the delegation of tasks to people is good, because I was thinking, you know what, Arteta, for instance, we might work on attacking sorts of play as a collective, like all the boys in the training session together. Then Arteta might tell this coach, or what I thought could happen is he tells that coach, listen, I like Maitland-Niles, but I think in the final third, he needs to do this better. After this session, go pull him over for an hour, or take him now and go do a little thing. And then I thought we was flying from there, sort of thing. You know, I would have thought that. And then obviously when we're doing that, and then obviously Arteta's playing these guys, we're seeing who's ready, who's not ready. You start collaborating with Ben Napier, the loan manager. All right, cool. You need him to go out on loan. We need him to go to a club that plays progressive football for him to be a centre half and whatnot. All right, that's the club. Boom. Send me some scouting reports. This is what I was hoping with Saliba. So we've done that for a year. He comes back last summer. All right, we know his level. Now Arteta gets the opportunity to see ultimately, away from the knowledge and whatnot, what he's about in pre-season. All right, let's loan him out. But I haven't seen any of that. And that's, again, maybe it was naive, and clearly it was naive. These are things I would have thought are given, especially a club that, I know Glazides is left, but wasn't his mandate. Every other season, a first-team player has to come from our academy. You kind of say it's working indirectly, but I don't look at these guys and I know that's the mandate, because you would surround them by with players. You would even look at things and say, all right, cool. Smith Rowe might not be levels. Could we sign an experienced player that's going to be here for 2-3 years and fly with that? Again, even guys that are really and truly babies in this football thing, but with this Arsenal thing, significantly more experience. Ben White's been in the game 2 minutes. How are you going to take him to a consistent England regular? You know, he needs to do it himself, but how are you going to do that? Martin Odegaard, Norway captain, Real Madrid ex-player, you know. How are you going to make him a leader? How are you going to facilitate the team to get the best out of him? Because we don't pass the ball forward. How can a creative man shine? How can he link up with his attackers? It's not making sense. It's literally like whether you're at the Emirates or on on TV. I can't lie, it's even worse at the Emirates. Like, you literally see the uncoordination. And for me, one thing that you have to really be at the games to take heed is the lack of leadership. It's like at Power League. You know, when you're playing five-a-side with your boys, you might concede a goal. Bare people are blaming each other. You know, that one rubbish player out of you, your friends, took a million years on the ball. Yeah, I'm talking, you know who you are. Took too long on the ball. He's screaming, where's the options and things? You know, it's a shambles, man. But again, maybe victims of complacency. I'll never say I would have liked to have lost an FA Cup or not won the trophy, but maybe in hindsight, to be devil's advocate, if we didn't win that FA Cup, maybe the wool wouldn't have been pulled on over everyone's eyes to a degree. Because I personally think the club, maybe the fans, I thought to a slight degree, we thought we improved certain things way too quickly and we became complacent. Like, I don't know. We must have thought we arrived at a certain level defensively, consistently, mentally, consistency and mentality, just by winning that. Because I think there must have been a complacency. Because that summer and then that winning that trophy and then coming back in pre-season, I can't explain what happened. I would have thought that would have been the catalyst. That would have been like, all right, cool. We're not going to move mountains and do a madness. But now we're trying to be serious. Instead, we're talking about the same things year in, year out, and we're in the exact same place. Nothing's changed but my clothes. You know, we probably go back to last deadline day. We signed Partey, fair play. But I'm pretty sure I've said the exact same things. A year away, I have simply said, I know I said it last year, you know, I wanted a midfielder and Partey. You know, I think the club twanged the fans and made them believe you had to bring in an hour type player or a Partey when they both unlock each other. You know, a lot of people are here ready to tell us, oh, Partey can pass the ball forward. Bro, primarily he's in that team to be a box-to-box figure and win the ball. Anything he does, whether shooting's a madness with him, you know, but anything he does in terms of good passing is a bonus. Obviously, you need him to pass the ball forward. Same way, if the partner did arrive, you need him to put his work in defensively. But the lines got blurred, and I think the fans were twanged by the club. Serious club does whatever, you know. Does any genuine Arsenal fan believe Partey signs for our club if that release clause isn't there? I'll leave you lot to draw your conclusion. I don't think so. But boy, like, I'm so sure if I go back to that live stream, I'm talking about the same things. I still don't really believe in the spine. Fair play. You've bought Ben White. You've bought, you know, TT at right back, who I think is going to be decent. Now I need to see the tools. There's no real complaints with Arteta. You should be getting more out of the attackers. You've got ODEGAARD now. You haven't looked, you know, I'm not even going to use the excuse on you like the midfield hasn't been addressed, because you've doubled down on Xhaka with that new deal. And it is what it is now. At that point, it is what it is. You lot haven't brought in a midfielder. Fair enough if you've tried and Edu said it's not there, but someone's got to answer for this. This is your squad now. I have to assume this is what you're cool with. Same way when we're rocking up to Chelsea and City and we're playing some dodgy players in that lineup, I don't think you're crippled. If this happens a year before, I think, yeah, you have to use these players, but you're choosing to use some. You know, I have to assume certain guys that played centre half that weren't the worst They're not going Fenerbahce or Turkey again because, again, I don't know, but the talk of ripping up deals or going out there stopped. All of a sudden, you're playing a lot, you're in the squad. So, are you staying? And what does that mean for everybody else? I think we've done a lot of pussyfooting around things. It started off that we looked like we was going to make some tough decisions. We was going to set some new foundations. Bellerin's leaving, fair play, but a lot of signings have it's just gone full circle again. We're still in the halfway house. We flirted with Ainsley going and then staying, flirted with the Leno stuff, flirted with the Xhaka stuff. And we're undoubtedly going to go through this whole thing in another cycle. We're going to be here in January saying the same thing, next summer saying the same thing. I hope Arteta is happy because while there's longevity in the signings he's made and some of the players in the squad, you need to show something or you're not going to be there to see the fruits of your labor. I'd argue there's some decent foundations for our next manager to build upon, really. And I just feel as much as I don't mind the approach of signings for tomorrow, you have to be able to do something today. Like you need to be, what you do today sets up tomorrow. If you have a financial goal in mind, how much you put aside today is what you're going to look at that date you've set in your mind. So, we can't just do what we do as a club, just say these things and put them into thin air and just wallow through time and just expect these unanswered questions to solve themselves. Amazing, man. The team is his choice, man. It's his choice. We can, do you know what? Let's do it again because we got time to waste. And Arsenal ain't signing no one. Mariba to Leipzig. One love to Mariba because he didn't go to Spurs. Lookman's gone to Leicester. Bear clubs doing little dirt. Blackpool, shout out to them. We're Blackpool fans as long as Tyrese John Jules is there. They bought Sterling, not City Sterling. Dijon Sterling from Chelsea. They've got him on loan. Swansea have got a centre half. Craziness. Bournemouth have signed Ryan Christie, Andre Gray, he's gone QPR. Other teams are doing bits. Morgan Gibbs White to Sheffield United. It's a bit rubby, but still, all I wanted was a midfielder. What's going on, Arsenal, man? And I have to assume now, if two midfielders listen, you're a manager and technical director. I'm a humble fan. You know more about football than me. You've been in this situation. You lot were centre mids. Arteta, you was in the centre of midfield when we was in better times. Edu, you definitely would. If everything I've said about midfield and everything I've said moving forward, if you lot have sat there and said these options are good enough, boy, I can't say Arteta ain't got a midfield anymore and all of these things because this is what you're happy with. If Maitland-Niles gets an opportunity and he solves it, this is what you're happy with. You got rid of Joe Willett, you got rid of Guendouzi, you doubled down on Xhaka. My opinion is El Nene stays because I think, they'll just let him leave for free and the bodies are looking light. Show me something. That's all I want. If these guys play mad and everything works out, I might still say we need a midfielder, but you've showed me something. The thing is, I see decisions and I don't see counter decisions. If you make bewildering tactics and I don't agree with it pre-game, but you win the game, you were doing your thing. I can only comment on things like that. But like I said, I've done it once and we'll do it again, people. Just because I don't want to sound like I'm hating. Literally, I just want you. I'm not telling you what to think. Just use your brains. This is his squad. Obviously, RUNNARSON's a dud. He's going out on loan allegedly. He asked about bringing Ramsdale. He doubled down on Leno over the whole Martinez saga. Arthur Okonkwo signed a new deal. Probably needs to go and loan himself, but he will be third choice keeper. You chose to promote Donny and big up Halen. Bellerin's gone. Now, you want to keep Bellerin and you've chosen not to give up people opportunities. He's going to Betis. Tierney speaks for himself, innit? Gabriel speaks for himself. You chose to bring in Cedric. I hope it works for Ben White. I believe in Ben White, but it's up to you lot what you make this look like now. If he plays mad and the system works, 50 million, we see what Arsenal meant, credit where due. If it's off what we've seen already and he comes in and it's just a mess like it was against Brentford, we sit here and have question marks, but you spent 50 million at a time where, to play devil's advocate, I hear the angle. I'm all for the young players and I actually like Ben White and the angle that he could grow. But you have said, I'm spending 50 million on a really inexperienced player, that's played one season at the top level to help me right now. Fair enough. The same trailer thought extends to Gabriel, and I'm with that. You asked for Cedric. Holding fought his way back into the team. I think Holding can be a squad player, but you've betted down on these guys. You've chosen Marie. The scouting department chose Tavares. Fair play, but you've had to sanction that. If you said, no, I don't think he's here, you've chosen Chambers. You are choosing to play Kolasinac against the Premier League champions. I know it's hard to move people on, but you can make it abundantly clear Donnies are not playing. You know, you got Partey. That's a good player. Odegaard was the club's #1 target. He's not going to be the #1 target if you don't sanction it. Saka speaks for himself. You gave Smith Rowe his chance eventually. Speaks for himself. You've seen what we've done with Ainsley Maitland-Niles. But allegedly, we've been told that he will thingy people. He's going to play a part. Lokonga, allegedly, you lot wanted him. You doubled down on Xhaka. You've chosen to keep Leno. The strikers, you know, Aubameyang should be scoring, but speaks for himself. You've got Martinelli. You've chosen to gas up Balogun and say he's getting opportunities. Give him them. You've got Pepe. You've chosen to keep Pepe, really, because it looked like at one point, mainly, was it last season? The season before last season, where against Leeds he got sent off. It looking like the club were prepared to sell him. You know, you lot could have accepted offers for Lacazette last summer, like with Bellerin. What happened? You've got Martinelli. You know, you don't want to use Torreira. You didn't, you know, you told Nelson to go out on loan from last year and he's done it. You don't believe in Mavropanos. You don't think Saliba's ready. You clearly don't want Torreira. You didn't want Guendouzi. So them man, they are not involved. That's his squad, people. Come on, people. That's his squad. So it don't wash anymore about it's not his team and all of these sort of things. You can't tell me that's it. That's not his squad. Every player is there because he's made decisions. This is now Arteta's team. Like, it's that basic, people. Like, it fully is. You can't say it's not now. Ben White's first game, having Chambers covering your ass, pause, no Partey in front of you, I'd say nerves. And that's where, you know, Ben White, first and foremost, you got to take responsibility. You know, I think he was better against Ivan Toney than people gave him credit for. Ivan Toney did his thing. But this is where I look at Arteta. You've signed him. You know, again, you've spent 50 million on him, so you've got to justify it. Make the guy look good. You know, he's whatever you say. If you look at Brighton, yeah, he done his own thing and you play well off your own back, but he had Dan Burn, he had Dunk, he had all these guys, you know, help your guys. You can't sign a defense. We could sign Van Dijk and he will obviously show his levels, but he won't look as good as he might look at other teams because our whole outlook on defending is a shambles. At best, Van Dijk will look as good as Koscielny did, and Koscielny didn't shine at Arsenal because he's a good defender. And what I mean by that is he did, but he just was a courageous fireman. There's bare fires going on. You know, he's saving women and kids, making all the tackles. It weren't because we got a good defensive system like you see at Liverpool and people are shining now. We ain't got that. So you're throwing people to the wild. Even if we got the midfielders I want, they're going to be thrown into the wild. And you know, if he is to keep the job, we need to see some coaching now. That's where my patience is running thin. There should be a system. Come on now. I think people truly underestimate the man hours that these guys have with these players. Everyone was saying he didn't have a preseason. I hear that, but man are screaming he didn't have a preseason in January. From August to January, I mean, these players don't just, it's not like Power League. You don't just turn up and play. You're training for a week. Some of you are doing double sessions, individual coach this, individual sessions that. You've got analytical teams. What's going on? Like, okay, you never had a preseason, but if you work on something in the week, surely you should be able to show it on a match day or just show improvement in time. Sometimes people need to just stop and think about things they're saying. Like, it's not adding up, man. It really isn't adding up. I mean, Van Dijk's human, innit? Everyone gets ripped by everyone, man. Gnabry sat him on his ass hella times. But everyone gets ripped, man. It's absolutely mad, man. One love to everyone. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. Bro, we need stat padders, people. We need scumbags in a positive sense. We ain't got no scumbags. We ain't got no Eddie Guerreros. Like, I don't advocate cheating, but you can't be nice in this league. You need to have a bit of the dark horse. We ain't got none of that. People pulling shirts, finessing fouls. You know, Bruno and these sort of players, they know how to finesse penalties. They know how to make contact. Like, finessing things in life, man. We're not nice. You know, David Luiz was probably the last one that had a bit of that, but David Luiz is a madman. I hope we do put 5 past Norwich, but boy, the way we're moving, I can't even talk bossy like that. Rudiger and Aspiller type players, street smart, you know. Rudiger, you can tell the man loves defending. It makes his day to keep a clean sheet. Aspilicueta, extremely good reader of the game, you know. Again, great example because you all saw Liverpool, Chelsea. Aspilicueta bugging out with Van Dijk, just antagonizing him at that set piece, just pulling his clothes and all to the point the refs getting involved. We need tapping and diving, but we need scumbags, man. Like, we don't even do the right spamming thing. Remember when Liverpool just used to spam crosses into a certain area? We don't find cheat codes and make them work. We don't do anything, man. Right, Juventus re-signed Moise Kean on loan from Everton. Decent. Fair play. DG put in a shift today, hit the like button. Appreciative, man. Appreciative. You lot put in a shift as well, supporting the thing. Without you lot, can't get anywhere. So I'm very appreciative. Bruno, this is what I'm saying. Bruno's a scumbag. Obviously, when you get to certain levels, I'm not gonna lie, like the Euros, there's none of that in it. Them things that run in the Prem, it's not gonna run in it. It has to come out the lineup, but just scumbags, man. People, I can't lie. You look at every winner in every sport. They've never been 100% a nice guy. Wenger, as nice as he is, bro, you don't win league titles being invincible, being a nice guy. Klopp, he looks like everyone's mate. There's a dark hearts in that man. Ferguson didn't even hide it. He used to pay up refs, and Arsenal used to fall victim to them a couple of times. If it was a level playing field, who knows? Ferguson, I love him, but I have to get him that way. You need it in life. You've got to, you've got to have that dark hearts about you. DG, the Lampard Rudiger is a scrub compared to the Tuchel one. Under Rudiger tells you everything you need to know. That's one of them as well. Sometimes a new manager can do that. And you know what that is? Football's a funny old game of opinions. Imagine Spurs got him now. I think Rudiger would have been good in the Spurs, especially when they're playing the three at the back and that. I would have loved him, to be fair with you. We could do. He actually wants to defend, but he would get rubbed out as well with the rest of them because it's a Mazza. United said they never paid refs. Yes, I love you, as you're my guy, but damn well you man cheated. How much times we rock up against Man United and it's evident cheating. Like when we lost our Invincibles, come on, man. You man cheated in that game. It's cool, We had to poison Spurs with a dodgy lasagna to get top 4 once. It's calm. It had to be done. Dark hearts. Like I said, no one died. It's all calm. With Europa games and recovery from EPL, what time did they have to do double sessions? Fair play, but we hear they do double sessions and they're not playing in that every week. We literally see the information that there's double sessions, and double session doesn't just mean you're playing. You could have an analytical thing in the morning and the practical in the night and vice versa. But that's what we heard. We heard they get homework. We heard Arteta checks the homework. We heard they get double sessions. We heard there's individual guys. I don't make things up. I go off what's said. And then I'm like, well, what's going on then? Maybe they are working hard and listening for 1 million hours on that line. But then we have to say, well, are you listening to the right things? Do you need a tutor for this homework? Like, what's going on? I don't think the effort's there, but at some point you've got to equate effort to where the effort applies. Again, there's a lot of hardworking individuals in this world, but working hard and working smart is two different things. There's a fine balance required. Then I don't know if we're working hard at all, but if we are, we're clearly doing it ineffectively, aren't we? So yeah, man, it is what it is. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, folks. We are so flat as a team in every name of the word. EG, good to see your channel growing. Appreciate that, my guy. Waiting on the propaganda conference on these signings. I'm waiting on personally. You're gonna get them articles in the Athletic. Arsenal actually did this for that player. Then the agent said this, and I'm not really with it, man. I'm not really with it. Yous were throwing pizzas on Ferguson. That's a P tape, boy. I don't know what happened. I didn't see anything. I don't know. Maybe they're being overworked in training. It could be Mohammed, but then that's where I ask, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Whatever reason, like us fans, big up you, you're bringing a lot of talking points, but me, fundamentally, we need to get to the root of it, because I don't know if you lot have looked at us, but I don't think we're anything to scream and shout about positively. Arsenal need to take a chance on this DG fella. He'd be the club's best technical director ever. Hey, man, I don't think so. I'm not experienced enough for that role, man. But maybe director's assistant or a little role. You could do a little thing. I could do with, people at me on Twitter asking me to say, here we go. Or, the media seeing me in Germany, getting Jude Bellingham the deal sorted. Why not? I don't mind acting up and talking with a fake accent as well. Well, Arsenal's a good club. We need a good player. Jude Bellingham, good player. I don't mind. Griezmann on loan to Barcelona with a 40. Griezmann on loan to Barca with a 40 million euro option. I think you mean to Atletico Madrid, but fair play. Can't be spending 150 million and be mid-table, boy. What's 150 million in these day and ages, AM, to be devil's advocate? But boy, chief scout, why not? I can't lie. There's certain regions I'm not going though. Like we have to dispatch some other individuals. Still 35 games to go, and that's the beauty of it. But Stuart, it's down to them. If they keep doing what they're doing and feeling sorry for themselves, then we're not going to advance. But I think they look at that for wrong reasons, rather than a sense of urgency. All right, we lost 3 games, we fucked up, we let the fans down, we let ourselves down, this, that, and the other. It's gone now. Now let's try and fix up. There's going to be many other defeats, but let's actually start moving like Arsenal players and respecting ourselves. Or are they going to keep this lax mentality of, yeah, there's 34 games, there's this in and out of games, and then before you know it, there's 5 games left, the season's done, or you get to December, the season's written off. So it's down to the attitude, and that's why I always say it's mentality. I don't really care who we sign until the mentality changes. We're not going to do much, and to be fair, we're not signing anyone really. QB. Hey man, it's not even that, man. Humble IC3 out here. I'm not trying to, you know, man. I ain't trying to be in some places. Bellerin is back in a year. Boy, DG, can you make me a mod, please? Yes, I swear you're a mod. Can't lie, I forgot how you do this on YouTube. I'll do it after this. I can't remember how you do that. Are you sure Arteta asked for Willian? Yeah, he literally said it. Like, information's come out. Like, he not told me this, but he said it. Like, all the credible sources are saying it. Many are saying T was a panic buy. I think Arteta gave Cedric and Chambers a chance and saw they won't be cut out for it and went in for a Japanese right back. I like him. He fights for every inch. Pause. Listen, I said I need a new right back. You know, as much as I even want to entertain Ainsley getting an opportunity, it's been officially confirmed. Oh, sorry, my guy, that Alex RUNNARSON has joined OH Livestream on loan in Belgium. So good luck to RUNNARSON for what it's worth. But I wanted the new right back anyways. Even if Maitland's going to get an opportunity, I'm tired. Everyone that's had an opportunity, I'm tired of even just talking about it. So I'm here for it. I don't personally believe he's given Cedric and Chambers chances. I still think they're part of his team. And we all know, you know, he likes to do the adaptability thing. But I think he's going to be decent. He's decent 1v1. He can improve going forward, but he shows a willingness. Any defender who's been in Italy, I'm looking at you to kind of understand defending. Only as good as your peers. But let's hope. Let's be positive, man. Let's hope it's something to scream and shout about. Hit the like button if you haven't already, people. This looks like it's a wrap up for transfers for Arsenal. Boy, looking like such, innit? Looking like such. Hope and pray, pray and hope, man. Can't I just sit here and talk about that? I really thought we'd sit here with a midfielder, you know. I can't sit here and cap, man. I really thought there'd been a midfielder here, man. But Barcelona are doing that, Mazza, you know. How are you selling Griezmann now? What is your team saying? Hopelessly looking at transfer news, people. Hopelessly. Can you blame me? Hopelessly trying to see what could be said where Arsenal's concerned. I mean, if we was to look at this quickly, people, there you have it with Kolasinac. There you have it with Kolasinac. You know, Sead Kolasinac's side contacted us. They asked for a 3-year contract and 3 million euros per year with a 3 million on signing on fee. We didn't. Kolasinac won't be joining Fenerbahce. So again, we're shagged now. You know, we were just talking about that earlier. Clearly, that meant, you know, the reason he's getting reintegrated is because you're having to use him now and he's just going to leave for free and whatnot. You know, the signing on fee has effed it up. There was talk of cancelling his deal. Whether that happens, I don't know. But yeah, Kolasinac won't be joining Fenerbahce. So that puts that one, you know, to the back burner. If we look at this, obviously, RUNNARSON's officially been confirmed, people. Alex RUNNARSON joins OH Livestream on loan. He's joined the Belgian Pro League side on loan until the end of the season. You know, he made 62 appearances over 4 years in Denmark and was named. Listen, none of that matters because at Arsenal it was tired in it, but it's another loan one out. So again, you could say, to be fair, it's been positive in terms of getting rid of a couple of players and finding loan homes. But again, all the business hasn't been done. And like I said, tomorrow we'll speak about that more in depth, people. Sorry, folks. Again, I'm always thinking about you lot that are not here. There you have it. Bellerin gone. I mean, all the documents have been signed. We're clearly, both clubs are just waiting to see what's going on with La Liga. So it's clearly a Betis issue that they need to sort out in relation to things. So it looks like it's done. Make sure you're setting your reminders for 11:30 a.m. tomorrow, where obviously we'll take a more in-depth review of what we've done in the transfer window. Right, Patrick Roberts is still at Man City. He's gone on loan again. That must be a money laundering thing. I don't know who's written off the right back, but I'm all positive. I wanted another one, so I'm very positive on the new right back. You know, I hope Ainsley Maitland-Niles can prove an option there. In an ideal world, he plays right back. He gives us an option in midfield, and we see where we can go with that. The window closes at 11 a.m. UK time, right? Yeah, so we've got just over an hour and a half. Let's be positive. Age profile of the players makes sense. An argument can be made whether or not we got the right players and the people in place to lead this team. We knew success wouldn't come overnight. Richard, you know, can't disagree with anything you said. Facts. I'm at a point where I'm already thinking about next summer. Hopefully, we can shot Xhaka and El Nene and bring in 2-3 players who are actually levels. El Nene, in theory, unless a deal's been given to him, there'll be no problems in that regards. And Xhaka will be here, so I don't know what's going on. And you just have to hope we shift our importance away from him. Could get really ugly for Barcelona this year, boy. Messi gone, Griezmann gone. I would have thought you needed to keep him. You got Coutinho, so let's see what's going on there. Pardon me, not a good selling window. All we do is kick them down the road on loan and have the same problems again next year. Pardon me, we're just getting the loan fees, innit? We're just adding up the loan fees. Inaki, can you hold your head in shame? You brought this twat in on your recruitment recommendation. Sorry, boy, that's harsh. Things go wrong, but I personally don't believe you can look at RUNNARSON and ever think he's good enough in any capacity to help this football club. But someone did, innit? Fair enough. Just wish again that there was a centre mid. Favorite music artist, DG Camden. That's a who the UK or whatever. Because favorite subjective. I listen to a lot of things still. I think we're not going to get any more. Another banging show. Thank you to you and your team for all the hard work during the transfer window. Just a fan appreciative of that. Edu's having a stinker, to be fair. We're having a stinker, man. But I have to, you know, and unless Arteta says something indirectly or directly, I have to assume you're happy with what's going on. But we'll have to see what's happening, man. How's your day been? It's been fantastic, man. You know, had some Mexican earlier. Been here with you lot. It's calm. I think we can finish 8th. I hope we can finish above that, or there's no point, man. I think if our target is ever 8th, because like I said, like you lot know, it's a write-off for Arsenal. But again, we can't have that write-off mentality. These players need to, like somebody said, it's 35 games been played. Like, you can't have a defeative mentality already, and all the typical Arsenal crumbling. It can't be happening after game week 3, man. Come on, at least you lot used to play well and then start frauding. John Cross in the Mirror reporting about Ainsley then changing their tune 4 hours later. To be fair, you know, things happen, things can change, and things do change very, very quickly in football. T is a strong defender. I'm not mad at all. 3 at the back with TT, White, and Gabriel. Given Conte is off the table, who you taking for next manager, bro? You know what? You might as well just bring me Sarri or Gasperini now, man. Any last minute surprises? We'll be here to see, but I can't see it, folks. I can't see it. I want to see it, but I can't see it. There's not even a sniff. There's no, like, nobody even has even spotted Edu somewhere he shouldn't be. It's all gone, man. This is what we're gonna have to deal with. What's in the drink? Ribena, bro. Probably needs to be something stronger if we don't sign a midfielder. But yeah. On the whole, bro, for a team that didn't sign an outfield player in the 2016 summer window, we've brought in 3 starters in Y, ODEGAARD, and T, and 3 solid squad players. We've done all right, man. There's no rumors, man. There's nothing. I mean, signings happen out of nowhere, but I hope it could be, you know, because again, it looks like the team move is sorted. We're just waiting on legality. So maybe we could switch our attentions to see what we could do. Even a young Pjanic on loan, if he wanted to sign, would do, man. And to be fair, I'll give Arsenal the credit, you know. Kolasinac wanted a €3 million signing on fee to go to Fenerbahce. Eddie and Nketiah couldn't agree personal terms with Crystal Palace, didn't want to in that regards. So that you're kind of shot in that regards. But at the same time, could we have been a bit more proactive? Could we have showed this intention before the window? I know there's a lot of factors that go about these things, but it is what it is. Oh man. No new signings for Arsenal. Well. For what it's worth, people, Martin Odegaard speaks out on Arsenal documentary and slam Spanish press. Martin Odegaard says he is still adjusting to having a camera crew documenting Arsenal season, while he has once again hit out at the Spanish press over his Real Madrid exit. Arsenal have made their worst start to a season for 67 years, losing their first 3 matches and sitting bottom of the Premier League on a -9 goal difference after getting well beaten by champions Manchester City at the weekend. Ask me again if I can read that paragraph without crying. My word, that was... No, you get it in the throat, people. Pause. Definitely. You know when you get that lump, like you just want to start crying. That's how I felt with that Arsenal one day. My word. Anyways, man, to make matters worse, Arsenal or not, Arsenal's disastrous start is being filmed by Amazon for the latest series of All or Nothing. Mikel was given no say, and it is what it is. But apparently, getting into it, Odegaard said, "I must admit that it's not my favorite thing to have cameras everywhere. You automatically think a bit more about what you say when there are cameras there, but the crew is discreet. That's it." So he's saying proper flies on the wall. That's a decision made from the club, and it's with the best possible interest of the football club. We need to help as much as possible. I experienced that a few years ago when I was at Manchester City. We're going to help as much as possible to help everyone see what this club means, this is now Arteta, I assume, how things are done at this football club, and be as transparent as we can to show the values, integrity, and passions, and where we are trying to drive this football club. Can you just show me that on the football pitch? I don't necessarily need Amazons and paragraphs and all these things. Can you just show me this on the football field? Fair play. Hopefully, it's a perfect year to show that. We need to make that happen. It's down to us to produce the best piece that we can, so everybody can feel part of what we do and our fans can be proud of what we do. Fair play. Odegaard went on to speak about the Spanish press. He said, absolutely everything that's been reported about me in the Spanish media is wrong. I'm so happy to be back in Arsenal. I loved it here from the first day I came here in January. I wanted stability. I wanted to settle down somewhere with a lot of good players who want to establish the club back in the top with a good manager. That's why I think Arsenal is a pretty perfect fit for me, says Martin Odegaard. Boy, fair play, Martin. Fair play. Fair play. Make sure we're hitting those like buttons, people. Let me change that and kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Pardon me, Amazon never miss. Amazon are busting the fans. My other club, FC Basel, signed 4 exciting young players this afternoon alone. We also had bad management, but are on the way up again. Fair play. At least you got some joy. We're holding on to Kylian Mbappe, so it is what it is. I'm keen to see if we can sell it, if we're going to sell him in January. And we're bringing in Nuno Mendes, a very talented young left back, left wing back. Not selling Ainsley last summer and then not playing him is disgusting, man. Management can't disagree with anything. So only things we are working on is T and Bellerin outgoing. It appears so, unless a madness is lined up, which it's 9:30 and 90 minutes before the window closes. Can't hear a sniff. Unless there's some mad ultimate top secret things going on. It's a myth. I mean, I'm ironically speaking about Ainsley or Arsenal. I mean, the Sky Sports correspondents at Everton's training ground don't look like nothing's going on there. Him and the Liverpool man look the most bored. Deluded Parisian hype. All this doc is going to do is provide content for memes. Why can't we just ball out? Fact. That halftime changing room bit from the documentary going to show the most who really wants it, bro. People are going to cap. I bet you when that documentary is happening, people that never said nothing all season are going to suddenly puff out their chest. I just know I'm going to see crumbling. I just know I'm going to see, I can't lie. I think we're going to see them Danny Rose moments. I hope we see what happened with Ozil, which we're not. I hope we see what the thinking behind Saliba, Guendouzi and whatnot. I hope we see the fight between, well, we can't, but David Luiz and Sabas, that was last year. I want to see everything, man. The man said, ADG, you're in your fields tonight. I can tell you're gutted we haven't grabbed a centre mid. And I agree with you. A 2 hour Sanchez Basuma would have done bits, but we still addressed everything. Nah, it's cool, man, but I wouldn't call it addressing everything, man. Let's just hope it works, innit? Like I said, we've bought a lot of seeds. They've been planted. Let's just hope those that are instructed with making sure that the crops are ready for harvesting know what they're doing, man. It just seemed like this was a good market if you could spare some pennies or you'd be prepared, because some of the deals that could have been done, all right. I like the signings we've brought in, but again, the only thing that scares me is the gaffer, Show me Ramsdale can be number one goalie for England or be our number one for a significant period of time. Same thought for Ben White. Last year signing Gabriel. Show me he can take Smith Rowe and Saka to the next level. Show me some clarity over Martinelli. Show me what Balogun's on. Saliba comes back next year. Show me what he's on. I don't have faith really in the gaffer with the guys that have been recruited, really. And couple that with, I think, buckling the chance to address the midfield. Shout out Lokonga. Gonna be a good signing, but a serious club signs too or does something, because we've known. It's not like we've looked at this squad and realized overnight that we need these things. We've known for years we've needed this. There was a point we just needed a DM. Now we've got, I wouldn't say DMs, but people who can do that sort of stuff in midfield. There's a lack of creativity. I know ODEGAARD's come in and Smith Rowe's found his way. I'd rather see Xhaka go than sign someone else. I can't say I agree with that, but fair enough. We may have Partey, both Gabbies and White back after the break. Smooth running aside from Spuds and Leicester until Liverpool end of November. Boy, I wish I thought like that. I don't think there's anything. I don't think there's a smooth ride in the Premier League. I don't think the way we're at this moment in time, we can afford to say that. Let me actually see the fixture list once again, man. Arsenal fixture list. I don't know how we can look at these things and think what we're doing is good enough at this moment in time. I don't know how, but fair play. This is the life we live. This is what we're going to do as Arsenal Football Club. All right. Support the club, so get behind it. Don't agree with what's going on, but get behind it. Feels like working for a company you don't believe in, but you're still hearing it. I said DG out in France, Raz enjoying Spain. AM, you might have to go Roma for a nice little loan. Roma, that's tired. Call me naive, but I think we're actually going to run after the international break. I hope so. Anything's possible. It's down to the players. Like I said, there's it's been 3 games. You can accept your fate, pat it up now and move forward. It's down to the players. Just like it's always been, as well as the gaffer. But again, looking at that, boy, I can't be confident. If the players show me something to get behind, I'll be confident. But I can't just because I'm looking at Norwich, like playing Norwich is better than playing Chelsea or City. I can't write off Norwich at home. I hope we should be getting 3 points. I hope we get 3 points, but boy, I don't know for that. Burnley away, I'm scared of that because set pieces, you know, Arsenal versus AFC Wimbledon. Hopefully it's a smooth ride, but who knows, man? You've got the North London derby that goes either way. You've got Brighton away from home. You've got Crystal Palace at home, which is booky. Villa beat us at home last year, and we dropped points against Palace at the Emirates, and then needed a second half at Selhurst Park. Leicester away, yeah, we won there last year, but we did also lose to Leicester. Arsenal, Watford, that's always a booky game. Like, it's always, even though if we win it, it's never plain sailing. I hope it is, but it's always dodgy. Anfield, enough said. Like, I'm now going into November. I'm just looking at the end of the year. Newcastle. Then you've got a trip to Old Trafford. You've just signed Ronaldo. You know he's stat padding against us. After a trip to Old Trafford, you've got to go Goodison. You've got to play Southampton. You've got to play West Ham after that. Then you go Ellen Road. Then you go to Norwich's place. Then you welcome Wolves, who beat you at home. Then you play Man City at home, who always beat you. You know, this is in that, you know, so to the start of the year, it's crazy. From to January the 1st, that Man City game, it's a madness. There's no run of games. There's no fixture I look at and I think, yeah, there's games I look at and I say, obviously, we should be picking up points here and there. But there's no game I look at and say we're convincingly winning that. So, boy, we have to see, man. We have to see what we're on. Time will tell. I hope so. I hope we can go on a run because I hate losing. Be nice to watch match of the day again. We managed to out the likes of Mustafi, Socrates, arguably Luis. To be fair with you, they tried to give Mustafi a new deal. They cancelled Socrates' contract last Jan, so I can't really count it. You know, Luis wanted to go. Bellerin looks like he's going. We've doubled down on Xhaka. Fair play. I don't think the business has been good, but we just, as much as I feel I can be optimistic about the players of tomorrow, I just look at it and I'm like, what about today? And are these players, you know, is the manager say? Like, are these players there? I don't know, man. I still think we'll smash up Man U, hopefully, but boy, I don't know, man. Like you said, we don't owe Arteta nothing, and at the moment, I've completely lost my patience with him. Our performances can be so dead still. We did nothing against Chelsea and City going forward, nothing at all. He did nothing anywhere across it. That's what makes me think what's going on in that regards. Can't wait to play Arsenal. Hey, we took 4 points off you last season. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Calm it down. I said Professor DG. I can't lie, North London derby is only going one way. How can I think otherwise? I don't know, man. I feel what you're saying. I don't think any of us are thrilled about what we are doing, but if we can't have a bit of arrogance towards Watford, Norwich, and Wimbledon, that's as bad as relegation chat. I hear you, but you've got to earn the right to be arrogant. I don't know if you lot are going to turn up. You lot might be on it against Norwich, shaky win against Watford, and lose to Wimbledon. When you do the right things and as a byproduct you get results, then you earn the right to be arrogant. We need to be humble. Every game's a cup final, as cliche as that is. You need to have the mindset of playing Chelsea and City and things. Now, that will probably make these players crumble, but that should be, for me anyways, if you're playing the best, you need to give your best or make them or give your maximum so that they can show their maximum. None of the teams we've lost to this season have been at their maximum. Brentford just had to take advantage of stupid defensive mistakes. Same with Chelsea and Watford. All three of those gaffers probably started thinking about the next game that they had after us, probably by the 45th, 50th minute, definitely by half time. And we don't wish injuries on anyone. Hope you're doing well and safe, my guy. I can't help but think that this just isn't good enough to get top 6 finish. Potentially another season without European football. Man said I remind him of Franklin St. Patrick from Snowball in that t-shirt. Come on, man. I'm styling and profiling in pink, but you know, come on. Norwich game is a must-win, trust. Bellerin out for a year, but he'll be back again next year. Hey, man, Bellerin's going to have a great season. They're going to buy him, or Barcelona are going to buy him. We're going to make bread, you know, and it's all going to be cushy, man. But you never know. Elneny was on loan. He's got an opportunity. Kolasinac was on loan. He's playing against Man City. Don't know what's happening with Maitland-NILES. We didn't really pull up too many trees at West Brom, but we're led to believe he's here right now. Atletico agreed deal to re-sign Antoine Griezmann from Barcelona on an initial loan with obligation to buy for 34.4 million. Finessing, you know, They're finessing you once again. They said, all right, cool, we'll take Suarez. And then Suarez won the league. Atletico doing what they need to do, man. I mean, Bellerin will have a year left on his deal when he returns. DG, do you think this new defender is a good signing? I do. I think he's good 1v1. I think he reads the game well. Two things I can't say for anyone really in that defense. So I do. But again, you're only as good as those around you. Man said, what has Richard Garlic Bread done? I don't know. But to be fair to him, to my understanding, that might be a bit naive. He's the contract man. So once you've, it's down to Arteta and the technical director. I mean, the technical director, Edu, they've identified the target. If you say, Joe Blogs, we need him, do it, then it's down to him to dot the I's and cross the T's. He can have a say, and I don't truly know what he does, but he doesn't strike me as the guy finding the targets. It's, this is who we want, go and negotiate that. Amazed we sign a right back. Arsenal will be top 3 if Kroenke goes. I don't know about that, but at least we could have the ambition to be among that, I'd say. What's this about Edu and Arteta having a fallout between one another? Pedro, there's no certain sources saying that, but I hope they have, because someone can't. I'd love to know someone's unhappy with the transfer, whoever that transfer window, regardless of who it is. So yeah, I don't know if it's just a Twitter rumor that has got out of hand, but nowhere credible has alluded to any of that. So I don't know for none of that. When is there? Can't like that Griezmann deal is terrible. Absolutely terrible for Barca. Don't know what's going on in that regard. You say, all right, cool. Sorry, people. I'm trying to find some. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know, people. I don't know. Yeah, one love for you lot dealing with the spammers, people. I don't know, people. But yeah, just as you said that, oh man. I mean, just to humor this, let me make a timestamp before I continue. In fact, 1:13:10, Arteta and Edu bust up. Now, obviously, let's go to this now. Obviously, like I said, I don't know Legro from anyone. I see this guy's Twitter account all the time. I think he has some great points and stuff, and I know he's got a podcast here. But I don't know Donny from anywhere. He might be in the know, whatever. But just to take what he said in that Mikel and Edu are falling out, so there's no clarity in the system. You have to question what the hell is going on. First things first. Edu's the technical director. Arteta's the manager. Now, Josh Kroenke's got to be in the room. This Tim Lewis brother's got to be in the room. This Richard Garlic brother's been in the room. Where's the other guys or heavyweights? What are they saying about this? Because this is a time where we need to be together, definitely in this transfer market, So first and foremost, stop spitting your toys out and get together. Now, obviously, that doesn't leave me with any sort of pride, because it's the worst time to hear this. It's the worst time. And again, maybe that's why we're seeing no clarity over what we're doing on a tactical front. Clearly, Arteta and Edu have different ideas with each other. Now, that shouldn't surprise me. All Dortmund do fantastic business, but I'm sure everyone has different opinions. You know, Stuttgart with MAITLAND-NILES, but everybody's got the same collective goal. So that tells me these two have two different ways of running the club. It also tells me there's pressure because I've told you lot already, I don't think the club is going to sack both of them at the same time. And if anything, personally, I think the club will double down on Arteta over Edu because it seems like they've put more faith in Arteta for the long term than Edu. And we've seen him missing guys like this come and go all the time. So it really would scare me, you know. And again, the pressure's on. Obviously, we got to remember Kaya Jarupkin is a client, Edu's a client of his, so maybe there's a bit of bad blood there. And if I remember rightly, you know, Kaya Jarupkin kind of spared Edu and kind of let the wolves out when it came to Arteta in relation to why Williams' move didn't work out. So maybe there's a bit of bad blood from there. And, you know, I hope fundamentally people are feeling pressure over their jobs, Mikel Arteta or Edu, because it's going to be one of you. They either sit there and say, well, we spent 130 mil, you know, the technical director and the other people have done their job. Arteta, you haven't got enough out of them on the technical front, go. Or they might sit there and say, you know what, the technical director hasn't done his job of bringing in players or identifying criteria that's needed. So it's a bit of a myth with that regards, people. Edouard's agreed a 5-year deal with Crystal Palace ahead of a move from Celtic. But away from that, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if they've fallen out over clarity over the system, people. They need to fall out because things aren't happening. I want to see people fall out. So again, I don't want to speculate because I don't know, but that just tells me both individuals are feeling the pressure, people, as they should. So again, we'll speak about that more in depth when any credibility comes out with it, but it is where it is. Some of you are saying that Bellerin's been officially confirmed. I hope that's on Arsenal.com. Where is it? Is it on Arsenal.com? Pardon me, Fabrizio confirmed Bellerin. So let's go on Romano's Twitter account. As you lot can see here, folks, or better yet, if I bring it here, as you lot can see, official and confirmed, Hector Bellerin joins Real Betis from Arsenal. Salary issue definitely resolved. Official statement announced. Announces, I think he said so. Yeah, man, hopefully that means it is there. Let me see if Arsenal have said a thing about him. But you must imagine there'll be a passionate one. And fair play, Bellerin. You know, I was very impressed with how you carried yourself off the field. But fundamentally, you know, it's all about being a good footballer. And I don't quite feel he was the guy for us, really and truly. So, I mean, the latest tweet on Arsenal.com is about RUNNARSON. So, everyone else is saying that it's been officially done. I haven't seen anything on Real Betis's website. You know, get Spanish Football News is reporting it. Oh, in fact, I think we have seen it. I think we can officially confirm this has been happening, man. You know, they pulled up a thing. When do we start to negotiate for him at Arsenal? This was in 2019, 2 years ago, and now they're doing up this. You know, with the if you know, you know. So again, it seems to have been confirmed by Real Betis, and I think we've all started to follow them. Well, I followed them before, but I think we can confirm that Bellerin is all but an Arsenal is an Arsenal player, at least for this season. So it's there, man. You can see it, you know. So yeah, Bellerin's been officially confirmed. Probably gonna be a long, heartfelt goodbye, even though he hasn't officially gone. But yeah, Bellerin's been confirmed, man. As you lot saw there. So yeah, Bellerin loan move confirmed. So yeah, good luck to Bellerin, man. You know, I just had to doubt if you're a good footballer. I appreciate your integrity. I appreciate the way he stands up for natural causes and stands up for causes. From that perspective, I'm fond of him as an Arsenal player. Fundamentally, at 26 years of age, we shouldn't even be talking about signing a new right back. You should be the guy. Unfortunately, he hasn't proven that. And arguably, as rubbish as Callum Chambers or Maitland-Niles may or may not be at right back, you're probably open to giving them opportunities, bringing in another right back, which has happened, or giving Cedric another opportunity before Bellerin. You know, I know he's had injuries and stuff. I've got to the point where I used to cut him them excuses. I just feel when fit, you're not good defensively, you're not good going forward. You know, I don't really know what you are, and hopefully hopefully at 26 the penny drops and he looks like a terrific footballer. So I'm wishing him all the best at Betis, and at least I'm wish, even if you don't like him, you should wish him the best because there's no obligation to buy him. If he has a shaky season, then again next summer, like what might happen with Torreira and things like that, we don't know what's happening with them. So we'll have to see. Shout to Harry Pinheiro. He's in the Sky Sports studios. Paul Merson looks bewildered. Lovely to see them on them platforms there. But yeah, man. DG, I'm still trying to figure out how we spent so much money and the squad still doesn't reflect it. You get what you pay for. I like him as a man at the club, just no longer as a player since the injury. The ACL one finished him. Well said. He gets a lot of hate, but he was electric back in the day before the injury. Yeah, he just regressed, man. It happens. He just regressed. Needed to move on. Simple as that. This has been coming. And he's still not technically gone. Yo, Deluded, you look so dejected, my brother. Man said it's like working for a company you don't believe in, but you're still here. I'm cracking up. It is that, though. It is that. Like, I'm just posted, like, what you see that meme where the guy's in a burning house and it's like everything's fine? It's one of them, man. EG Arteta must be the bookie's favorite to be the first manager to get the clip, potentially. Arsenal's turmoil runs clicks and sells inches. I want to see evidence from those articles, or it's all gas for clout. 100%, man. Say, swear, Edu and Arteta fell out. The common issue seems to be Arteta with issues when it comes to relationships. Trust me. We always got January as well, GP, so I'm going to dip. Have a good one. It's true, we have got that, but could be too late by then, man. I think Bellerin has to go and learn to enjoy football again. Yeah, man. And let's be real, it is toxic with Bellerin at Arsenal Football Club. He is one of those players, like I said, needs to be moved on, an element of frustration, but it does go beyond fair criticism. It becomes, like I said, scapegoatism. We all know the history Bellerin's had with certain football fans and people with platforms and whatnot. So it's nice to go and play for Betis, and I hope they take to him, obviously, because his dad was a fan. It's a good moment for his dad. Also, he's playing in La Liga. You're 26. You ain't really scratched the surface where international football's concerned. So go do your thing, man. EG, please, is Arsenal signing any player tonight? Oh, we're signing a right back and then it's done, man. We need another CDM and a proper right back. Our midfield is very uninspiring. The lone exception is Partey. Xhaka is out for the next 2 to 3 games. Sambi looks good, but it's early days and we can't put too much on him. El Nene is, and we've got Ainsley. La Liga will be a better fit for Bellerin. I hope so. Ainsley Maitland-Niles has the same footballing ability as Holding and Chambers. Useless, raw. Can Arteta make his mind up? First, we want Ainsley to leave on loan somewhere. Now that he stays, he's part of the plans. This guy, Arteta, doesn't know what he wants. He's two-faced, raw. How has Edu managed to keep his job after all these awful windows? To be fair, January, we got rid of some dead wood, but... Buendia and Basuma are only misses, in my opinion. We never was really trying to get them, were we? All others priced out or acquired Champions League. We need to be realistic about who is available. I don't see that as no excuse. I hear you. You're right. But, if you can't get them, get the same profile, but a different sort of profile. You can't just, it can't run anymore. Like, if you can't get Champions League players, somehow people always do it. Half the players we always talk about signing from French teams and whatnot, they had to be somewhere. So I hear you, but it's tired, and we can't really even say Buendia is a miss because we really didn't try going to him. I fully rate the grind, DG, appreciative. The only thing that I've learned that Arteta is good at is cup format comps. Every other aspect, he's ish at. Wait, I wouldn't be surprised with so many defenders in the squad. Arteta will play a 6-3-1 formation. If everyone's fit, what team and formation you play in? To be fair, 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. Tierney at left back, T over at right back. I'd rather persist with Ramsdale, because I don't know for Leno's commitment. Gabriel and Ben White, midfield with what's available. Lokonga, Thomas Partey. Odegaard / Smith Rowe, Saka on the right, Pepe on the left, or either one, and Aubameyang up front. Or you could have Odegaard in the 10, Smith Rowe out wide, Saka on the right, Aubameyang through the middle, or something on them lines, but it's a bit meaty. I'm so underwhelmed, DG. Surely Arteta knows the squad is not good enough. I hope so, but I don't think so. I think he believes in this, so we'll have to see, man. We really will. It's not sounding good, is it? Really, we'll have to see, man. An hour and 4 minutes left of the window. Hopefully, a midfielder is arriving. Keep the hope up, people. Keep the hope up. It's crazy, man. Barcelona signed Griezmann from Atletico for 129 million. The deal funds Atletico signing João Felix and accelerates Barcelona's financial crisis, which leads to Suarez joining Atletico for a nominal fee. Suarez fires Atletico to the league title, and Barca are forced to offload Griezmann back to Athletic. Boy, damning. It's a shame the way Barcelona is ran, man. Bro, Eduard's officially been confirmed. Bro. Nothing to do with Arsenal. Oh, man. Desperation, man. Anything, just something, man. Just tell me something's going on with midfield players at London Coley. Surely, man, something's got to happen, man. It's not happening, is it, though? Still nothing on Arsenal.com surrounding Hector Bellerin. Must be preparing a madness. Must be preparing something gazy for him. So, boy, I don't know. Let's see Google. I know Google's got something loaded. They must do absolutely nothing. Great end to the window, guys. Fantastic. Amazing. You know that Pep video. I'm so happy, so happy. Sneaky bid for hour. It's done, man. It's done, broski. That's forgetting, man. You must be in with the French under 21s. This, bro. There's an hour and 2 minutes left. It's done, man. At least until January, this is what we're doing. If Vieira does bits at Palace and we're in the mud end of next season, would you take him to start a new project, or do you want someone more experienced, no matter what? Man, if I learn everything I need to learn about Vieira and he shows me what Arteta's not, then I'll entertain it. But yeah, man, I'm not too sure on that one. Can Odegaard and Smith Rowe play together for you? 100% they can play together. Man, they're asking for Arteta to go on loan. In the minority again, but I think we'll be looking at this window in a few years saying it was a starting point of change. I hope so. Again, this is why for me the facilities have to be the best, because we could look at Ben White, Ramsdale, all these guys as significant foundations, but suddenly if there's no real pathway for development or no real, on hands-on coaching to develop these players, it goes two ways. It either looks like investment business or it looks like more spunked money. Basuma would have made my window. I think we didn't plan to go for him as he won't be around in Jan. Arsenal already has 4 players who won't be available. But what do you rate the window? I'm giving it a 4-5 at best. 4 for me, because I do think, like, I agree with a lot of people saying that, we've signed some good young players, but there's just a heavy feeling of underwhelming. It felt like it started off with more promise. It felt like we'd make significant change. And I'm not talking about signing the biggest and baddest players. Just we'd make the tough decisions and stop relying on certain players that are clearly just not good enough. But it didn't happen. Ultimately, indeed, talked a good game. Ultimately underwhelmed, I felt. But at the same time, I've asked for a midfielder, you've brought one. Asked for a right back, you got one. Wanted a centre half, I got one. Needed to find a keeper. I got one. So time will tell, man. You know, time will tell of what I look at in this window. But a feeling of underwhelmment to a degree. Just because while I'm, you know, suddenly it's the same thing. You're gonna over rely on these young players, you know. But we'll have to see what happens, man. No excuses for Arteta anymore. Standard window for Arsenal. We should be used to this. Recall Guendouzi and Saliba. 4-3-3. Ramsdale, Tierney, Gabriel, White, T, Guendouzi, Partey, Odegaard, Saka, Pepe, Obar, and Conte in. Job done. If only if it was that easy, man. Huge window. Not sure we got the players I wanted, but got a ton of money off the weekly payroll. We didn't sign any bad players. We just signed young ones. Come on, guys. It's not like we signed Coyote and Josh King or something. That's harsh, man. Them players there are probably just enjoying their dinner and they're catching strays. Fair enough. 59 minutes left of the window, folks, though. Hope and pray, pray and hope. Do you think Arsenal have signed any of their primary targets except Ben White? Yeah, I'd say so. They wanted Ben White. They got Ben White. They were allegedly looking at Lokonga. You got Lokonga, you know. You were looking at Ramsdale. Apparently, Ramsdale was the one. I don't know if it's propaganda. You got him. Odegaard was the number one creative target. You got him. So, yeah, Arsenal did get their number. Arsenal, by that logic, they did get their number one target. So, what I hope for is that we see clarity. Know why you're signing Ramsdale. Know his strengths, but know his weaknesses. How can he improve him? And the same trail of thought, because I do think, you know, none of the signings lit the world up. But as you lot are saying, you know, Ramsdale could be a shrewd addition. I like Lokonga. I think Lokonga can grow. You know, Ben White and Odegaard, I'm looking at them kind of for this season immediately to impact really because they're two areas we needed, and they're probably two of the more elite signings compared to what we've got. So it is what it is, but it's down to the coaching. Suddenly, if we continue to still look like square pegs in round holes, it's gonna look like a waste of money. It either is a thing where, wow, they done all of that for 150 million, or you 100 plus million, because I don't know the finances, or you spunked it all. I don't know. And it's actually over that now, really, because we're getting this guy for like 25 million. You know, again, Arteta has signed other players. So I don't know for the historical spend Arteta has made, but it's a weird one because on one hand, I feel a sense of underwhelming in this window. But on the other hand, I won't say I'm excited. That's a strong word, and you know, it's too meaty for that. But I'd say positive over some of the business we've done. What annoys me is for me, we just really buckled at the chance to immediately improve that midfield. And I just feel these young players, they're going under a naive manager that hasn't shown me he can find a system and a plan for them individually. You know, Ben White, yeah, he has to be a quality defender, but he's stepping into a defensive shambles. But Ramsdale, again, how are they gonna fix it? Odegaard signed, but he's coming into a team that doesn't look like they're passing the ball any better than last season. Bearing in mind, we were ninth for created chances. I don't care what anyone says about any of these attackers. We should never be there. That's blasphemous to be there as an Arsenal fan. So clearly the manager's underperforming. Has he shown you anything right now to show he's going to change that? Time will tell. I hope he does if he's still here. But how can I expect Odegaard to perform miracles? And the same goes for any other signing. And again, I think I'm over relying on Lokonga now. Tavares when his chance comes, potentially Odegaard and Ben White. But as I said, they're the exceptions. But I'm 50-50 about this window. Makes sense. Yeah, hit the like buttons if you haven't already. And there needs to be a plan, man. Like I said, there just needs to be a plan. All I'm asking for is a plan. I can have my opinion, but if you've got a plan, it should work. I'm not saying it's the same trail of logic, but people, I'm sure some Liverpool fans might have been happy about Wijnaldum signing or Robertson signing. Some might have looked at it sideways. Some that didn't know about what Salah was doing at Roma might have done something. I saw something today. I don't even know if it's true, but apparently Klopp wanted, I can't even remember. It might have been Brandt, but I can't remember, so I don't want to put names out there. But Michael Edwards said, let's get Salah. That Michael Edwards guy is leaving Liverpool. I don't know where he wants to go, but he's performed miracles for FSG. So if he wants to come and have a new challenge at Arsenal, come here, man, because we need someone who can overperform with mediocre resources. So yeah, man, I do think they got all their targets. I mean, you know, again, I can't. For me, I see Our on the table, but clearly you didn't want Our that deep. You know, you didn't want Buendia because we've heard they've moved away. We scouted them, but they didn't want them. You didn't return the offer for Our, so us and a number of clubs never wanted him. So I can't say he's not a primary target. And I swear Arteta himself said at the time a few months ago, that they've done good business, and so a few weeks ago, apologies, that they've done good business. So I'll have to assume such, man. Shout yourself, Daniel. Hey, DG, love your way of thinking. Love from Switzerland. What if Kroenke wants Arteta and Edu to fail so that they can be blamed and pressure falls off him? Love to hear your thoughts. I hear that, but it can't be, because I think many fans, they will, you know, they can be happy with, not happy, sorry, with Arteta, but they'll look at it and say the Kroenke still need to go. There's been different individuals that have worked under him or worked in his organization. The common denominator has still been him. So it is what it is. Happy that Maitland is staying now. He needs to step up. Who would be your last minute shock signing? I keep saying his name, Hossam Aouar, but it's a myth, man. It's all over, man. In that regards, it really is, man. You know, we've got 53 minutes left of the window, folks, man. Keep your optimism. Keep your optimism. Keep your optimism. We got each other though, folks, man. It's gonna be a long season, but we've got each other. I wouldn't prefer it any other way. One love to everybody locked in. We've only got 260 likes, so something is wrong. People keep supporting the team. I'm no longer emotionally attached to this club. I feel the same way, but we're capping. You know, we're here at 7 minutes past 10 UK time. We care. We might have detached ourselves somewhat emotionally because of the surface, because of this, what's going on at the circus, what's going on at a circus of a club, but we love it, man. We can't turn it off. Main problem is still Kroenke. Even if Pep came, it would even if Pep would come, we would still fare with Kroenke. I think you mean fail, but fair play. Big up DG, keep up the good work. I appreciate that, my dude. One love to you. Sorry, folks, need to charge the phone, mate. Need to charge the phone. Why not? But yeah, I appreciate the super chat, my guy. One love to you. Thank you very much for the praise and the support, not just by you, but everybody. And like I said, man, praise be to everyone. You know, I love you guys. One love and that. Tino, you think you're funny still. Disappointed, just disappointed. This window would have been an excellent window if we had already a good spine and leaders in the team. Do you know what? It's one of them, like you have been saying, you might look back in a couple of years, not realize it now, but it was a thing. But right now, in terms of instant inspiration for their fans to get behind, based on all the bullish talk that everybody connected to this club was giving pre-tournament, pre-end to the window, is a bit underwhelming, if I look at, but at the same time, I think you've got to be fair, because I think a lot of fans would be happier if we spent 70 million on Maddison. Now, I'm not saying we shouldn't have done that, but what happens if he flops, sort of thing? So I think people just wanted big money signings for the sake of it. Me, I just wanted the areas addressed properly, and I just don't agree with what we've done, but I'm going to have to live with it. And it is what it is. It's not even the signings brought in. It's just you feel you want more. Like, I hear that you're bringing in the guys for tomorrow, but what about the midfield today? Because I'm still looking at it. Lokonga's not going to be the guy to take over Xhaka's spot. So where's that guy? Same way you're looking at Pogba. I mean, man said Pogba. You're looking at Partey with his injuries or whatever and thinking you need a bit more. What's going on for the Xhaka one? Who's, something happens to Xhaka. If Xhaka really did want to snake it to Roma, who's going to do that role? Leave you lot to draw that conclusion. These games coming up are tough. If we don't beat Norwich, then Burnley will be nasty. We are all expecting all these young players to come good. I don't think this team is any better than 8th. I'm worried, says Peter. Can't say anything to change anything, man. We were supposed to fix the spine last summer, but Gabriel and Partey have been injured so much. Even with them, the coaching and the mentality change hasn't been enough. And that last summer, we were screaming, where's the partners to them? Now we've got the partners. Now there's no excuses, because you should have a functioning back five. If I go off what Arteta is on, You can have your opinions on this, and I can as well, but you're saying the guy who's coming in at right back, he's my guy. Tierney, you're my guy. Ben White, Gabriel, assuming you're my guy. If need be and there's injuries, well, he said all of these guys that are around the squad can be done. He's chosen to keep Xhaka. Clearly, Partey's going to play. He has bought Smith Rowe. So if we've got Xhaka, Partey, Smith Rowe, the defenders that have been brought in and the 11, he can't have any excuses. You know, you can't. And that is where we need to improve. That's where our defense and our attack, that's the nucleus of the team. You know, the attack gets the praise, but nobody really cares about the build-up player when the keeper threw it at what particular time. Until that's addressed, this club can only go so far, folks. But there's no excuse. The tools are there. Show me. Shout out to you, Carl. That's where I'm at, DG. We need signings that address the team here and now. We don't have time to drift into more mediocrity. And I mean, when you've got young players, I know no one wants to hear it, but you have to account. Balogun might be one-on-one and miss a chance to score, you know, and their team might go forward and counter-attack us. He's kind of cost us 3 points indirectly in that regard. You know, Ben White and Gabriel. Now, obviously, I'm expecting a certain more higher level in comparison to Balogun, but they're still young. You need to be prepared for their individual teething problems and their collective ones. Pardon me. But what is the plan? This is where I'm at. You know, while they're doing that, you need to be able to have people for now. Look at United. You've got Ronaldo. They had Cavani. Sometimes you're just going to need a striker for now, but they've got the young ones. You know, you need people for now. End of the day, you still need to get 3 points. It's a results business. You lot have signed players that could be here for 5 years in a long period of time. You might not be the guys here. So there needs to be a degree of instantness. And I don't get that. I've never got that vibe from Arteta since he's walked in the door, if I'm completely honest with you. In fact, when he first took over and he was talking about the atmosphere, the way he spoke about the fans, you know, it's a bit issue. It's a bit of an issue the way it's changed, man. Now he's a bit too PR-y for me. Again, he might be under duress. He might be feeling the pressures. I don't know. I mean, we've got leaders, and I'm sure there's more leadership qualities in that team than we give them credit, but I don't evidently see it. Midfield is a concern. 2 players will be off the AFCON, so we were left with Xhaka, Lokonga, and potentially Ainsley. I mean, for the players that are here, Lokonga, Ainsley, Maitland-Niles, provided you get an opportunity, you've got an opportunity to show Arteta. I mean, if Edu is a proper technical director, you know what you need to do in terms of January. You know a midfielder needs to come in. And I mean, last January, we did stuff that we should have done in the summer. So hopefully next January, January 2022, a midfielder arrives at this football club. I don't know if that will be the case. Arteta brought process players but didn't bring title challenging players in. An inexperienced coach with a process mentality. I don't think he brought in. Listen, you can't challenge for Europe, so you can't talk about winning leagues. But I just think he needs players for now in the intermediate. I mean, he's tried that. You know, as much as I say that, I have to say, you tried it with Willian, you tried it with Cedric, you tried it with Marie, but ultimately these are cost cutting exercises, and you get what you pay for. Sometimes they're expensive mistakes, as you've seen with a lot of them. So it's just simply signing good players, really. Big up DG, never deluded after all. Appreciate that, my guy. For me, there's still a big quality deficit at the club. Whenever I see the Arsenal starting lineup, I never feel confident we can win anymore. I see where you're at. No excuses. Really up again. I think we might be in trouble this season. Hope I'm wrong, but I don't know. We badly need a captain who can galvanize the team on the pitch. Aubameyang isn't that guy. Needs to concentrate on scoring. Well, need to see someone step up and lead. I'm at the point where I hear that, but I just think people need to lead. People need to stand up for themselves, man. When you know what you want out of life, then when you hear somebody speak, you either decide to get behind them or not. If I want to be a title winner and I'm in the City squad and I hear the way Pep or Liverpool, if I hear the way these gaffers are talking, I'm on it. It's like being in the army. Not that I know much about that. But at the same time, if my mentality is not that and my man's is, I'm just going to be like, yeah, man, this guy is moving mad. So I think there's a level of self that these players need to master and need to come to grips with and need to control before they can talk about everything else. As I always say, I always sit here and say, how can they play for us when they're not playing for themselves? They're not playing for the badge, the club, or them or these things before themselves. I don't see personal pride. When you've got personal pride, everything else, team, he's not been the best this season, but he's got personal pride. He doesn't want to get embarrassed, so he don't want the team to get embarrassed. I don't think anyone in this team wants to lose, but certain people are fine and dandy. The way you lot accept defeat, ultimately failure, it doesn't sit right with me. You don't try to win games, as harsh as it sounds. I don't get the vibe that you try to leave it all there. And that's a minimum for any team. DG, you said you assess Arsenal's dealings after the transfer window closes. Will you do this tonight or sleep on it and do a video tomorrow? Sleep on it, man. We got to milk the content. The window's done, man. How are we going to survive? But yeah, tomorrow thing, I'll put in a shift, man. There's no way I'm going to give you like what I genuinely think is going on. DG, who do you specifically think should help the new young lads to mature their game, to develop courage and commitment themselves? They should be able to look at the squad and say say other people. I don't know, but fundamentally Arteta, because players come and go. The manager does as well, but the manager's brought them in. So we'll have to see what's going on, man. It's abundantly clear we're not signing no one, people. $282 likes. Keep running that up for me, folks. I went to Sevilla in my football manager save. Well, at least I signed him. I signed him in football manager, but it's not going to happen, is it? Oh, I got small hope, man. Why can't we just get like a little loan deal sorted for Pjanic? Just pay the loan fee, man. Kolasinac is still here. Do you think good enough players can still win and play well without proper management guidance? I think, yeah, to a degree. Yeah. There must have been times under Wenger, Alex Ferguson, Pep Guardiola, and Klopp. These players must have thought you're chatting shit, or the manager just simply got it wrong. Bellerin is therefore official. Real Betis confirmed. He's gone, man. Captain's armband is heavy. Koscielny was a 9 out of 10 player every week until he got it. To be fair, Koscielny was a lead by example guy, man. He used to take bad up way too much for me. But he was a good centre half, man. I give a lot for Koscielny and Santi Cazorla. Give a lot for a lot, man. Apparently, Sam Allardyce said that Ainsley Maitland-Niles forced a move to West Brom in January because of his desire to play in midfield, despite Arteta and Edu not wanting him to go there. So maybe they have history with Maitland-Niles and whatnot. Boy, still small hope of a midfielder, man. I know it's not coming, but it's not over to the fat lady sings, they say. The fat lady went yard, man. She done a tribute song. She's got her tip. She bust out and went yard, man. One love to Bellerin, man. 8 years at Arsenal, 239 appearances, 3 FA Cups. Come through our academy as a boy, left as a man. Safe, man. Do your thing. Small hope, just scanning, looking for Arsenal stuff in a desperate attempt, man. And to be fair to the club, they tried to shift a couple of players and it didn't bang. I don't think these players want to leave as much, man. I don't think Kolasinac wants to really play football. I think he's cool with going Turkey and that, but he's not going to force it. He's on too much peas. The players that did want to move have moved, in my humble opinion. Real Betis have announced the Bellerin deal for what it's worth. Still don't see anything official on Arsenal.com surrounding this anything, people. Me type in Arsenal one more time on the socials, man. I mean on Google. I know there's something. I know there's something, man. There's nothing, man. Well, Real Madrid don't want Camavinga to go somewhere alone. EG, much love and respect. Love what you're doing, and that Arsenal of nowadays crying time to time. Appreciate you, my guy. Real Betis just posted that meme of Wolverine holding a photo with Bellerin. As it fair play? I mean, they're good at that stuff, man. Bellerin, go and do your thing, man. If Arsenal have spent 150 million to get eighth, then it would take over 1 billion to win the league. Can you see Kroenke pumping in that sort of dosh in 1 to 2 seasons? No. I don't think it should take that much, if I'm honest with you. 39 minutes until the window closes, people. Can something be done? Don't think anything's going to be done, but it's over, man. What a window it's been, man. Started off with hella optimism. You know, Griezmann set for Atletico return as Barca deal agreed. You know, Chelsea have agreed a loan deal for Saul Niguez. Ronaldo's gone back to Man United. Leeds have confirmed the signing of Dan James. Spurs have signed Emerson. Solomon Rondon to Everton. Solomon Rondon, Townsend, and obviously Damari Gray. Not the best on paper, but two of them signings have started well. Leicester have signed Ademola Lookman on a season-long loan. Obviously, Real Madrid have signed Camavinga. West Ham have signed Kyle on a season-long loan. Moise Keane has joined Everton. Bournemouth have announced the signing of Christie. Wolves have ended Renato Sanchez talks with Lille. So again, we've got decent relations with Lille. Is there nothing we can do in that regards? Nothing that could be done there? Loan deal? Doesn't need to take a medical? Come on, man. So do we lower our expectations and just take the L? Nah, man. The expectations for you are you still have to get Europe. I don't think it can be done, but that's your expectation. It takes money if you don't do it smart. Liverpool done it for less. You ain't got a pro. We've spent 100 million. Like. I got small hope, man. Let's keep dreaming, folks. Let's keep dreaming, man. It's a shame the window's gonna end this way. Should have gone for our 100%. Make sure you're following on Twitch, folks. Oh man. Is what it is, though, man. We keep going. Surprised no one touched Coutinho. Probably too much finances, man. It's probably too love for that, Toby. It's probably too much of an expensive loan fee. And obviously, you the way Coutinho's playing, you don't want to take on that for Barcelona financially, do you? It's an issue. You don't want to do that. It's not looking like anything's happening, people. 26 minutes left of the window. DG, what do you think about the news about Lacazette? That he's not signing a new deal, something we know in it. So he's just going to run down his contract, and it is what it is. Just make sure you get the most use out of him this year. Who's going to replace G? He's going to replace Griezmann. I don't know. I mean, if you're asking an Arsenal fan why he's paying reference to 04, that is in 2004. If you know, you know, man. Education is free. Do some. Thanks for responding, DG. What can fans do to improve the loser mentality / spirit in the team? There's not much we can do. We can support, we can chant, can do all of these things. There's nothing fans can do. Like all fans can do is support the team. I don't think there's much the team we can do past that. Are you gonna miss Bellerin? Nope, wouldn't say that. 30 odd minutes, but we still hope. As they say, it's the hope that kills you as an Arsenal fan. Mentality is down to the coach. Yep, and themselves. So it's nothing to do with the fans, man. The fans can create an atmosphere, and he said when where did we lose to? Was it City? We lost to City. He said the atmosphere was fantastic. Said the fans were fantastic at Chelsea. So fans are doing their bit. But fans, if fans are seeing nonsense, the feelings are gonna be heard. Has Tommy been announced? Not yet. To be fair, Charles Watt said it was gonna run late. It seems that it's done. So it's done, isn't it? Still don't see nothing on Arsenal's official. You'll keep supporting. We've got 34 minutes. Are we going to need a deal sheet for Tommy? What's taking Arsenal so long? Apparently, it's done. You expecting any more, DG? In seriousness, nope. Blind optimism only. Arsenal trying to get a deal done in one day when they couldn't even get a deal done in 1 week. Can we do a transfer in Fergie time? Yeah, as long as the deal sheet's been placed. Anything's possible. 1 sec, people. I'm coming back. I'm going to phone Arteta. All I wanted was a midfielder. Man. I don't even ask. God, I don't ask no one for nothing. I'm a humble guy, God. I don't ask for much. I try to be better than I was yesterday. I'll be respectful to everyone. So why can't nice things just happen for my football club, man? Why can't we just sign a midfielder like this? Why can't things just be levels? Like, why can't there just be a system? Why is it gotta be like this, man? Anyways, folks, I'm back, man. I hope you've all been hitting the like button and all those sort of things. Boy. Arsenal deadline day. How TF does Arsenal leave it this late in the window, man? Like for FFS, you've got the whole window to do ish. If it's done, announce it. It'll be interesting to see Ozil's documentary. He'll expose a lot without being gagged. Pause. Now he's not part of the club. Man, I hear that, man. I just want a midfielder, man. Hopefully one gets done in January. So yeah, I guess Operation January is to sell Eddie and Ketia, sort out midfield and all those sort of things, man. Boy, nothing of any credibility. Still hope though, man. And I guess, in relation to tomorrow, positives. Sorry, people, I might as well just prepare my notes. Positives, negatives. Who else is still there? What can we say about Arteta's squad now? Tomorrow should be a good one. TT's paperwork are signed and completed between Arsenal and Bologna. So yeah, man. You mean to tell me Kolasinac is staying? Hit the like button. Kolasinac staying to be Edu's bodyguard. To be fair, he's the only guy that I've seen put up a decent defense in any capacity in quite a while. To be fair with you. But yeah, as you lot can see here, people, TT's paperwork are signed and completed between Arsenal and Bologna. So again, it's done. You know, to be fair, once again, Charles Watts did say this one would run late, so it has been done. Have no fear, fans. You know, official confirmation, I guess, will be due when the time is right. But that's about as exciting as it gets, man. At least this time last year, there was more optimism. At least the party one was there. We didn't even have time to do. Why didn't you do this earlier? Why? We're just happy to see that it was done. Well, 28 minutes, people. 28 minutes. DG don't look upbeat by the latest news. Bro, I mean, we've been knowing for bare hours that my man's signing now. It's not a centre mid, is it? Big up him because we need a right back. Nothing to do with him, but boy. Do you think Ainsley is suffering from mental health issues? I think we got to be sensible and a bit sensitive around these sort of things. I don't know anything about Ainsley Maitland-Niles beyond the fact he plays for Arsenal to say that. So it's for someone that's credible to do that. But I must imagine footballers, there's a lot going around welfare and mental health. So I'd like to think there's a facility for him to get help or talk if he did have that. But we need to be careful of insinuating that. DJ expecting a madness? No, just expecting a midfielder. Raw. Tottenham in talks with Aurier over mutual contract termination. I mean, raw. Considering the fact that he's leaving, he can sign for free in Jan. They don't want to pay him up. Bellerin joins Betis on Real Betis that is on loan. Jota has signed for Celtic on loan. Not that Jota, the Benfica one. Interesting moves if you're anyone but us. DG Ainsley never did bad whenever he played. What are we not seeing that ends in him being last choice? You have to ask Arteta. I don't have a clue. You know, because you can have concerns about Ainsley Maitland-Niles in defense, and if he's able to do it. But then when you look at in comparison to who's playing ahead of him, there's issues there. Glass half full. At least they didn't pull out one signing like Partey last summer that clouds fans' views for a couple of months like last year. Good point. DG Arsenal will face their worst season, the life this season. Fair play. Ainsley Maitland-Niles isn't the answer. Fans changing their mind, ain't it? You know, I can't say that word. Ainsley Maitland-Niles just has to wait for the next gaffer. Guess the standout move in this deadline day is Griezmann, probably. You got Griezmann, Camavinga, to be fair for me. Cristiano Ronaldo, I know it's a cheat code because it was getting done a couple of days before, but you know, one of the greatest player in world football, I'll give or take between Messi has moved on deadline day. So it is what it is, man. Arsenal haven't signed a midfielder despite all this madness going on. Hit the like button, people. 320 odd likes. We're doing all right. Saul's gone to Chelsea on loan. You're right. You know, for me, it is Messi, but give or take, you know, can't disregard Ronaldo. No more signings, unfortunately. That's the word. Hopefully, this brother doesn't confirm to Arteta's crap. Can't believe what we've come down to. It's unfortunate. Very unfortunate. 10:35 over here, people. Dedicated, my G, appreciative. Who really wants to come and play for Arsenal? We're a banter club. It makes me sick to the core. To be fair, you know, Even though I don't disagree with what you're saying, we still have signed players. Your thoughts on Barcelona loaning Griezmann to Atletico and bringing in Luke de Jong? They're not signing Luke de Jong, are they? I gotta take that to VAR. Gotta take that. I need to see that with my own eyes. Raw, that's what you man are on. Raw, they really are. That's a joke thing, man. I don't think he's a bad player, but it doesn't make sense. You've already got Braithwaite and people like that. Wow. Bewildering is the word, man. Just when you think Barcelona can't make any more bewildering decisions, bewildering, bro. Like 100% bewildering. Doesn't say if it's a loan or what, but raw. Like, fair enough if that's what you think can replace Messi. Fair play. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough, boss. I hear that. You lot do your thing. I don't know. I don't know. Bewildering, man. Ethan and Manfredu from Chelsea to Vienna on loan. Interesting. Can hang out with Tammy over there. Luke de Jong's 100% living a movie. DG, we have spent 150 million. I'd rather spend 75 on 2 world-class players that improve the team thoughts. I hear that, but at the same time, we're not in a position to do that. We kind of had to make the money stretch. Whether the money has stretched on the right players is another thing. You know, I'm still not happy with the business, but the money did need to stretch. So I think it was a fallacy to think that was going to happen. Don't forget to subscribe, people. Less than 100 away from 41. It feels like my YouTube isn't growing, but fair play. I don't know what's going on, but I love that, man. One love to everyone who subscribed and whatnot. Yo, DG, who had the best transfer window? Off the top of my head, I actually don't know. Really don't know. I'd say PSG for me, bro. You signed Messi, you got Donnarumma, you got Hakimi, you got Ramos. A couple of them were for free. Nuno Mendes allegedly joining. I'd say them really. I mean, Ronaldo got United got Sancho. That's enough to scream and shout about. You got Varane. That's enough to scream and shout about. You got Ronaldo. I know it's not a 26-year-old Ronaldo, but it's effing Cristiano Ronaldo. On a serious note, I'd say PSG. Personally, I just feel that you can't not be happy as a PSG fan, man. Really. 50K by Christmas. Appreciative, man. Hope so, man. Villa did good business as well. You're right about that. They're not, man. But we're still getting half decent players. And you honest, half of these world-class players, it's like money thing. You put the money on the table, can get it done, but I agree. Spurs did decent business. You know, I wouldn't quite put United up there, even though I just said it. I mean, you got Ronaldo and Sancho, but when I break it down, I don't. They are up there, but I just think the midfield's not been addressed. So they're up there, 100%. DG, would you drop Pepe? Not at this moment in time, but unless it's to accommodate Smith Rowe out wide because Odegaard's going to play in the middle and Saka has to play. Fair play, probably. Varane as well. Rondon to Everton. To be fair, Everton low key. I wouldn't say them, but the way Damari and Townsend has started, I put them up there for flops. They must have taken that personally and fair play. I'll apologize when need be, and they've got Rondon. AFC Bell said there was going to be a madness in terms of some prominent personalities, but nothing so far. I mean, pardon me, there's nothing so far. There's no real rumors to the Edu versus Arteta bust-ups. At this moment in time, it's all a madness. You're right, big question marks over Sandro. I rate him, but he knew there'd be question marks in the Prem. I know, not question marks for me, bad boy footballer, but you know the Prem. City actually had a bad summer. I thought they would do much more. I thought they would have signed a striker, but maybe they'll revisit it in January. I don't know. EG, would you stick with Leno next game? Don't feel happy with him in the net. You know, I wouldn't mind if Ramsdale gets a spot. Not too many players I can say in that team are holding on to their shirt, but I feel based on the City game, Leno should have done better for at least 2 of those goals. But without Leno, that's probably 10, 15 nil. So you're only as good as your last game. I think he was one of the only players that could have left the Etihad with some sort of pride. I think I question Leno all the time, but I think mentally he was actually there. And I always question his distribution. He's actually trying to play it short. Man, I'm scared. So, you know, I can only give you off your last game. So I'd go with that, man. Don't know about that yet, DG. Look awful against Wolves. Yeah, it's one game, man. I think Sancho will come good. Obviously, Ollie's got to show he can get the best out of them in an attacking sense. The midfield hasn't been addressed. Obviously, there's still a lot of question marks. He doesn't look fully fit. It's down to him to prove him wrong. But I think quality. Listen, I'm a big fan of Sancho, and I think the quality will show. But it's down to him to show that, innit? Once the window closes, looking forward to your best 11 going forward. I mean, we can probably find it now, but it's a madness. If United get a DM, they would be, and an 8, they would be the third best squad, third best squad to first, in my opinion. I'm not sure what you said there, but I hear that. 18 minutes left. I'm just sad there's no fresh attackers for us. What a shift you're putting in. Appreciative of that. So I mean, what Nelson's gone out on loan. Torreira and Bellerin have found homes. I mean, all three will have to be contracted to the same length of time, and we're going to have to revisit that in the summer. And there's no saying we're going to shift them on. We hope they all have positive loan spells. But if what happened with Torreira last year, if it happens to them, how are we shifting them on? You're going to need to sign a backup goalie. Well, in fact, we don't know if it's a backup or number one. You spent 30 million on Ramsdale, so he must be the number one. But if he underwhelms, you might say he's second choice and sign an upgrade. So you need to look at that. You need a midfielder. You need to be assessing strikers. Good evening, DG. What's the word on the street? Nothing at this moment in time, bro. Top goal scorer in the Premier League this season. My dark horse is Ferran Torres. I mean, Harry Kane, in no order. Kane, Lukaku, Cristiano Ronaldo, Mo Salah, them sort of man. They're really, we must have lost money on Torreira. But again, if United create like they did against Wolves, Ronaldo ain't scoring no goals. Man, United fans saying Mo Salah, I hear that. Oh, I'd love for Vardy. What happened to Kolasinac and Nene? They're still at the club. They're chilling, man. Probably in their yard sleeping, and will be reporting for training at London Coley tomorrow. Whether they should is another thing. Pardon me. Ooh, pardon me. What we see him here now, people. As you lot can see here, Hector Bellerin's been confirmed. Arsenal.com. Hector Bellerin moves to Real Betis on loan. He's joined Real Betis on loan for the 2021-22 season. He joined us in 2011, 10 years on, making 239 first-team appearances, winning 3 FA Cups and 2 Community Shields. Obviously getting called up. He can leave with his head held high. You know, I just don't think Bellerin's done the job. He hasn't improved. You know, the injury has kicked him out. I'm full of admiration for how you carry yourself off the field and the causes you're involved in. You know, good luck to you. You know, you was a Betis fan allegedly, or your dad was. You know, you're a Spanish man that's never played in the Liga in the Spanish top flight, so you've got that. You know, wish you all the best, Bellerin. I don't think you're good enough. You know, at 26 years of age, someone who's captained the team, played 200 odd times, won FA Cup. I should be looking at you. Instead, I don't. With respect, go off and do the best. I hope you do the best to convince them to sign you permanently. You've been linked with Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, and also Betis and Villarreal. So there's interest, and you're earmarked by a lot of Spanish clubs. If you don't excel, then I don't know if Arsenal are going to use you. You're going to have a year left on your deal. So I hope he does move on. I hope it does work out. It is a relationship that needed to end a long time ago. Wish Bellerin all the best at Betis, really. And hopefully for us, we can now announce our new guy. You know, at 26 years of age, it's not going to happen here, innit? So good luck. It's happy to see that one there has been done. So yeah, good riddance and good luck, man. Bellerin, do your thing, man. On that note, that's that in Hector Bellerin's case, folks. So what should we say? Was that 2 or 2 for Hector? Sorry, Bellerin loan to Real Betis announced. Not that that's anything big, but yeah, man. What's going on here, man? Let's go on Twitter. Arsenal. You lot saying Arsenal Twitter? What's going on there? Been a long day, man. 15 minutes left. If it's not a midfielder, I don't want to hear it, man. I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to hear it. I really don't want to hear it. TT announced. So yeah, they've announced TT people. So this is where Arsenal's business is done, really and truly. Let me show you Arsenal.com. You know, obviously, like you lot are saying, it's been announced. It's been announced. It's been announced. So yeah, let's scroll down. As you lot can see, welcome to Arsenal. You know, big up the Japanese individual for joining us. Let's see what this is about. Hope there's no copyright problems here. So yeah, he's been announced, people, and yeah, man, I'm keen to see what he brings to the table and all of those things. Where is the article? You know, obviously for me, as I said earlier, from what I've seen of him, he's good 1v1. He seems to be resolute to his defensive task. He's okay going forward, but there's a lot of improvements to be done. He's got a wealth of experience, having played over 60 games in Italy. Being in Italy as a defender is a plus for me. And obviously, if need be, he can play right back like with Ben White, even though I don't advocate that. He's 22, but saying that, there's a lot that man needs to learn. And when you look at our defense as a whole now, we are a naive team anyways. We're going to be a naive team. You've got at best Ramsdale, Gabriel, Ben White, obviously TT now, Kieran Tierney, Lokonga, and maybe a party. You know, Smith Rowe is in the team. Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli. We're a very young and naive team, so we are going to make mistakes. Defensively, I wouldn't expect anything less than the occasional mistake. But what I need to see is some real consistency and our attitudes change defensively. And I hope he brings some of that Italian mentality. But crucially, he's only as good as our outlook defensively. You know, our first line of defense, once again, is our strikers. Our first line of attack is Leno. You know, we don't really know how we're getting it from in goal to up front. That's why we were ninth last season for goals. We can't defend. That's why, despite being third for clean sheets, we're absolutely woeful in that regards, people. So it's nice to obviously welcome him. As you know, it's been one that we've known's happening for a while and whatnot. It's nice that it's been officially done. And for me, now Arteta has a decent defense to work with in his eyes. He's chosen Ben White. He's chosen Ramsdale. He's chosen TT. You know, Tierney's a baller. He's chosen Xhaka and Partey in midfield. So there's no excuses now from Mikel Arteta. He needs to get a tune out of these players and out of these individuals, people. Like I said, you go through this whole team. These lot are on loan because he doesn't trust them. Eddie, the move didn't work. You've promoted Balogun, Martinelli, Aubameyang. There's obviously a couple ones we don't need to go through, but he's chosen to give Xhaka a new deal. Eldene's here because you want him here. We've scouted Lokonga. You've told Maitland-Niles there's an opportunity. Smith Rowe's got an opportunity. Odegaard was your top target. Partey's a good player. You know, you've chosen to reintegrate Kolasinac and for him not to go out on loan. You chose Marie. You chose Tavares. I know they were scouting to go with that. You chose Chambers. You gave Cedric a 4-year deal. You pulled Holding back in from the cold. You was the primary driver behind the 50 million Ben White. I don't think anyone else was. Same with Gabriel. Bellerin's gone now. You know, the excuses have run out, really and truly. And as you lot see here, you know, TT, welcome, man. It's nice to have him here. As you lot know, TT has joined us from Syria, our side, Bologna, on a long-term contract. The 22-year-old started his career in his homeland. He made 45 appearances there. He's only been in Europe for a matter of years. So again, he's still inexperienced, you know, really and truly. In 2018, he's been at Belgium. So again, moving to another country shouldn't help him, shouldn't discourage him. And clearly he can speak multiple languages. So I don't know his level of English, but his intelligence is clearly high. So he can only be as good as the people around him, but it is what it is. Serge Aurier's contract at Spurs has been cancelled. Not my right back, though, to actual good right back from, I'm not talking about our noisy neighbours. He comes having made 63 appearances across 2 years in Serie A. So again, he is going to be significantly inexperienced. But again, you're looking at him, Ben White, Ramsdale, they're still young, but they have significant experience compared to our younger players. So I'm going to need them to stand up to be counted. You look at Lokonga, he's got a similar about 60 odd appearances or less for Anderlecht. Ben White ain't played too many times for Brighton. He had 1 year in the top division. Ramsdale's been, he's been on a couple of loans, but he's still inexperienced. And the same could be said for many other people. Edu has said, we're delighted to have signed him. We've been watching him for a while now, and we're really pleased that we've reached an agreement with Bologna. He's an important addition to our squad. T is a strong defender with good experience in Serie A and at international level. He's a versatile defender with great defensive qualities, high technical ability, and composure on the ball. That's what we need. Composure, technical ability. As I said, his best strength for me is 1v1. So don't make me look silly now. You know, let me please be a right back that I can be shameless and say you're best in the league. He'll be an important member of our squad. We look forward to T joining up with us when he returns from international duty. As you know, he's represented his country at all levels from under 16s. He'll wear the number 18 shirt. Welcome to the club, my dude. And let's delve a bit more into what he's about, just to paint a picture on his experience, people. As you lot can see, he's 22 years of age. And he's now an Arsenal player, so they need to update this. But when you look at it, I just want to delve, like I said, he's been at Italy. There's a good foundation. Arteta has to know how he's taken a lot of these players to the next level. He's only played 64 times for Bologna, 61 appearances in the league across 2 years. So he isn't really, you know, he hasn't got 100 senior appearances at any club so far. So there is a degree of inexperience that he's going to come with. The same with Lokonga. Again, let's just so I can show you lot visibly what I'm talking about. We just type in Arsenal. Hopefully things run smoothly. We type in Arsenal, bish bash boss. We go on the squad. We don't even need to go on the squad. It's right here. Sorry, people. Hit the like button if you haven't. You know, again, the common theme has been inexperience. You look at Gabriel. Pep, I love you, but I don't need to see your face at this moment in time. You look at Gabriel quickly. We look at Gabriel quickly, people. What are you seeing there? 32 Arsenal appearances, 52 for Lille. Inexperience, you know, 40 appearances in Liga. You know, 23 in the Premier League. That's about 63 top division experience in games. God knows how many are 90 minutes if we get into that. So you've got 60 odd from TT, 60 odd from him. You know, the team are going to make mistakes among the team. You know, let's look at Ben White. Again, I like Ben White's got a solid foundation. He's been on a number of loans, but we can't expect too much from a man that's played one Premier League season here. Played one Premier League season? Why is it showing me this? You know, I don't know why it's not showing me what he's doing for his country. What was showing me what he's doing for his country. Yeah, he played 41 times for Brighton. He's played 1 time for Arsenal. That's 42 appearances in the top division. Obviously, he played 49 times for Leeds. He played 51 times for Newport. As I said, he's been on a couple loans, but that's inexperience. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to do questionable things in defense and in midfield and whatnot. Arteta has to know how he coaches out the bad habits and the weaknesses. And this is why I said it's one thing talking about all of these players' strengths. The club needs to know their weaknesses, or how are they going to advance. You know, Gabriel is rash. How can you get that rash out of him? You know, I don't really know what Ben White's weaknesses are, but can we tune them out? Tavares, can we tune them out? You know, you look at the team, they're naive. They're going to have to be coached good habits. The same way we talk about this team, they have a lot of bad habits. You look at it, Tavares, how many times have you played senior football? You know, 41 appearances for Benfica and 3 for Arsenal. And from what we hear, he wasn't even first choice. Why wasn't he? I'm not criticizing any of these players. It's just you look at them, they've got a lot of things to learn. You know, where's Lokonga? You know, I like Sambi. We're looking at these young players, if anything, to show us more promise and hope than the other people. But when you look at it again, quite inexperienced. Fair enough. 78 appearances for Anderlecht. How many have come in the league? 61, similar to TT you just signed. Not too much experience. There's what we have seen with all of these guys. There's a good elementary sort of foundation that they've come with. You know, Ramsdale's been in tough situations, fighting relegations, been on 1-2 loans. Ben White kind of the same and had a season in the Prem. Lokonga's coming with 70 odd appearances. TT's played 61 times for Bologna. There's a solid foundation to build and improve upon. You know, again, ODEGAARD's actually not even, wait, he's 22 and how many times did you play for Real Madrid really? You know, he's a leader amongst these younger men as well. But for the hype at Madrid, you played 11 times. You played more times for Arsenal. You played more times on loan. So again, these guys are experienced. You know, obviously he captains his national side, but inexperienced. And I don't need to tell you why Martinelli, Balogun, Smith Rowe, Saka, all of these guys are exceptions to the rules. Saka must be close on 100 odd Arsenal appearances, if not there already. So I just want to look at this for my own benefit now, people. And he's contracted until 2024. You'd imagine in the next 18 months, Saka signs an improved deal or should sign an improved deal. So let me see. I just want to see how many appearances Saka's actually made. 92. So I was close. He must have had it. It must have had it. But even Saka, 62 league appearances. So you're seeing a common theme. Arteta has to be able to coach these lads. It's as simple as that. When they make mistakes, learn from it. They're going to make a lot of mistakes and it's going to cost us a lot of points. The problem now is it should be the young players that we're talking about switching off and all of these things, not the experienced ones. So it's a bit of a dodgy one, people. We're gonna have to see what's going on. We really are. We really are gonna have to see what's going on, man. But it is what it is. What should I call this? You know, announced decent young signings. Call it that. 5 minutes until the window closes. Somebody tell me that there's been a development with a center midfielder or something like that. You keep saying TT, but I can't say Donny's name, man. I'm gonna have to go on Google Translate and learn that myself. I won't lie. Love for the super chat. Oh, you need to come on my channel, my guy. DG, rate the window out of 10. Now, maybe emotion needs to go away. I'd say a 4. Because you could say a 6. Maybe 5's right. You could say a 6. You could say a 4. On one hand, I think it's a 4. Then I think it's a 6. As I said, I think there's some solid foundations that we've brought. I think these players could be good foundations that we look at in a few years and think, wow, TT, Bologna, he's improved us. Lokonga, and all of these other guys we've signed. But it's only as good as the gaffer. It's on a knife edge. It either looks like pennies that we've spent, or we sit here and say, how have Arsenal managed to spend 100 odd million and not improve the thing? Obviously, at the end of the day, we've got, and I also feel a sense of underwhelmment because it started well and then it's gone. Listen, it's difficult to really shit on it, pardon my language, because you got rid of Willian. You know, fair enough, you tore up his contract, but we're alleged to have of no cost. You know, you found homes for want-away players in Bellerin, Maitland-Niles, and Bellerin, Torreira. Sorry, not Maitland-Niles. I'm missing out a couple of other players. The problem is, you know, it seems like they're options rather than obligations. You know, I swear it's an obligation for Mavropanos and Guendouzi, so their futures are resolved. But if they're options, we've got a bag of players coming with a year left on their contracts. That's going to be an issue for us. So it probably is a 5. It probably isn't quite a 4. It probably isn't quite a 6. It's probably a 5. But I find myself more aligning to the 4, if that makes sense. But yeah, man, good long-term additions. You know, again, I'm looking past the manager. If someone else can take it, then they're decent. You know, again, communication's key. So again, how that defense communicates is going to be a serious one. So I have to see, man. We'll have to see. But I do think the business was good, but it feels like a feeling of underwhelmment to a degree. 2 minutes left of this window for what it's worth. Hit the like button if you have not done such already, folks. And obviously, they're all of a good age. As Alexander is saying, every single player we signed is 23 and younger. I can understand people wanting more Partey, Pepe, Aubameyang type. Club realizes we can't drop 50 on 28-year-olds that will be owed by time our core peaks. I mean, what did people want? Haaland, Grealish. I agree with DG, the hesitant 6 due to the lack of outgoings, but I feel like anyone going like 3 or negative numbers is just being over dramatic. Yeah, it's not a negative thing. You can't say, listen, the club had no business signing Willian, but they did. They got rid of him. I still think there's question marks over several members of the squad. You know, haven't moved on. Eddie, fair enough. End of the day, Nelson has found a lone home. You know, he signed a new deal. That's who I was thinking about. You've got Nelson, you've got Torreira, you've got Bellerin, you've got RUNNARSON. You know, all of these guys, there's no confirmation they're going to be permanently obtained by any of the clubs they're on loan. So there's a factor that you're going to have to deal with that next summer. Between now/January and the next summer, you're going to need to bring in a midfielder. Me personally, you're going to need to bring in a goalkeeper, whether they're first or second choice, depends on when Ramsdale takes his opportunities. You might need a right back because, you know, Maitland-Niles, I assume it's you now. You and TT are fighting, but we don't know. So we'll have to see. I still think the midfield isn't quite good enough. But I guess from Arteta, there's nothing he can complain about because when I look at it, you know, he wanted his first choice target surely in ODEGAARD. He got that. He wanted Ramsdale. He got that. He wanted Ben White. He got that. You know, the club wanted Lokonga. You got that. Tavares was identified allegedly by our scouting department, and based off scouting reports, you've got someone that can play at a left back. And Arteta seems to relish him because he's used him at right back. Not that deep, but he's used him. So there's options there now. I think, you know, he's got a new deal for Xhaka. Fair play. Smith Rowe and Tierney have signed new deals. So it's been a positive window. Williams been shifted off. Again, you know, Nelson saved us a few quid by not walking away for free. You've got Eddie in that regard. Balogun also signed a new deal. So, yeah, man, that's what I kind of think, man. Let me change the font. What do you think of Arsenal's signings? We'll call it that. Hit the like button if you have not done such. And that's it. The window's closed, people. It's been a fantastic watch along with you lot. You know, we're still here for a few moments, but it's unfortunate, man. No midfielder. Banged on about midfield. All I wanted. Fair play. I did ask for a right back. I got a right back. Did want a number 8. I got Lokonga. I'm not complaining. Well, 6 really, but I wanted someone else as well. Boy, I think Edu has done a decent job this window. Shame he's got Arteta to manage them. I mean, that's something I can answer. Has Edu done good enough job this summer? I think that's something we can answer. This underwhelmed that there's no players for now. I'm not asking for marquee players, but I mean, there ain't no 26-year-old midfielder, low profile, able to do what Xhaka does and just impact the team and be a good partner for Partey. Whether they're out there's another thing. I don't think there's enough players that can kind of help for now. You're relying on these young players. There's still a bit of an imbalance. You know, you've got the young players who should be, no one should be making mistakes, but should be the ones that make mistakes. You've got the experienced ones that are not strong enough foundations and not strong enough characters to show these young players real levels, in my opinion. But it is what it is, man. You know, and at the end of the day, the window's closed. I've got a centre back, I've got a right back, I've got a midfielder, I've got a keeper. Balogun signed a new deal. Bit of underwhelmment. You know, there was bullish talk about Neves and, you know, Aouar and all of these things, but it is what it is, man. Only time will tell. Still needed an hour. Sentiment still lacking. Lacking, bro. Lacking's not the word. Lacking. Why did we leave so many things till deadline day? If I was one of our new loanees, I'd be angry with Arsenal. We don't know all the variables, but again, I have to put it down to a lack of proactivity. Why didn't we get our? I think the club never wanted him that much, really. As much as fans, because we didn't reply to Lyon. They wanted to sell him. We didn't reply. So we must have not wanted him. It must have been ODEGAARD or Aouar, neither in any of them. Have we bought finishing 8th in the league? Project Youth is a joke. Just you get the players to make with more in a few years. Okay. Not sure what you said there, but one love. From a neutral 6.5, probably is a 5, you know. It probably is a 5, but I just have a feeling of underwhelming because I look at it, I'm like, do I actually see with respect to any of the signings, do I see them as, yo, you finished 8th. You've truly deep that you finished 8th and you don't want to do that. I hear what we're doing for tomorrow and that, the young players. But do I look at them and say immediately, we're not having 8th anymore? We're not having it. We're tired of it. I don't see any of that, you know. And considering that we've spent 50 million, just to look at it on a blasé, lazy point of view, you know, we spent 50 million on a centre half. You spent, you know, you brought in a fullback. You spent 30 million on a keeper, you know. Surely we should be saying this, but I don't know, man. In isolation, it's a 7-8, but in context, it's like 4-5. To be fair with you, it probably is a 5-6. But like them underwhelming ones, like a low one, like it's just got there sort of thing. We'll have to see, though. I really don't know if I'm honest. Our one, it would have been class. Our on loan or Renato would have been smart, low risk as well. But we just have to deal with it in January, man. I thought we'd have gone in for Sabitzer, like he had that leadership quality in midfield, but well, I'll never understand the Arteta thought process. Sabitzer clearly, in my opinion, is one of them, like it was Bayern or nothing, because not just us, but Spurs, a lot of teams were interested, and he said no. $150 million wasted, bro. Zach, I hope that's not the case. DG, are we being harsh on Arsenal? I think we've had a great window for their next manager. All we need is an established player for our next windows with our new gaffer. They say we're being harsh, but I do think, I wouldn't say give praise, but I do think you got to have a bit of context, man. I do think some fans expected stuff that was never going to happen. You know, you wasn't going to see Basuma and Odegaard and Aouar and Neves and all these things happen. And many fans didn't expect a lot of that, man. If Arteta sees Odegaard as an 8, we've addressed every area we need to, really. And hopefully that is the case. And then he's got to show something, in it. Now you've got no excuses. It's down to how you galvanize the team, change their mentality, and all the rest of those sort of things. Everton have signed Solomon Rondon on a free transfer. I mean, it's crazy, people, There's been a lot of moves, Rondon's gone for free. Griezmann back to Atletico. Camavinga's gone to Real Madrid. Ronaldo's technically gone from, signed for United. I'm sure I'm missing something out. I mean, there's hella unanswered questions. Like, for me, who is going to miss out? Who's going to struggle for game time at United? Because at the end of the day, sorry, folks, let me make it neutral now. Because I look at it, what's going to happen with Lingard? What's going to happen with, Lingard? I know they're in Champions League and there's a lot of football, but someone will probably leave in January. You've got Rashford to come back. Lingard's hung on. I know Dan James is left, but you're looking at some of them United attacking players who plays. When I'm looking at Manchester City, obviously they didn't sign a striker. They've signed Grealish, but they haven't signed a striker. So what's going to happen there? Liverpool, they ain't really brought in anyone of significance. I know they got Canute and he'll prove his worth, but no one to really shake things up. Us, we've just spoken about us. Griezmann to Atletico, I think that's a good signing, and they've pulled a blinder considering what they sold him and what they could take him for, and whatnot. One has to wonder where Ndombele stands because a move didn't happen. Obviously, where Kane stands because a move didn't happen. There's many players, Martial at United as well, to throw that in there. Saul's gone to Chelsea. Chelsea have signed Saul. It even improves their midfield more. They've obviously addressed Lukaku. Clearly, the club wanted a centre half, and Conde didn't get over the line. So I wonder what that one is saying. Ronaldo, obviously, back to Man United. I have to keep saying it. Leicester have signed Lookman. Again, Lookman, I think he's one of them players. Everyone wants to see him do well and that. So let's see what he's on. I think Dan James will thrive at Leeds. I think with respect, Leeds are a better team than us at the moment. But I think that's his sort of level. For where United are trying to go, unless he does some right wing back stuff, he's not level sort of thing. Spurs have had a decent window. Emerson, Brian Gill, Pepe Sarr, who's gone on loan to back to France, back to Metz, where I hope it doesn't bang now because he signed for them, man. So yeah, man, it is what it is. It's keen to see. I think a lot of teams will still be busy in January. Palace signed Edouard, Conor Gallagher on loan. I think these are some good moves that they've made. West Ham have had a decent end to the window. They've went and got Vlasic, Zuma, Carl, brought some decent little players in to complement the side. Everton, fair play. So far, Damari Gray and Townsend have done well. When I look at Townsend, Damari Gray and Rondon, when I look at Everton, they should be aspiring to Europe. I don't look at any of them signings that can help them with Europe, but it's not a name brand thing. So it is what it is in that regards, folks, man. General transfer window. In fact, let's just call it Camavinga, Real. No. Man City fail to sign striker. Why did Lingard not leave United? Transfer market reaction. And I mean, to be honest, on Twitch, I'll probably do a more general view of the transfers. I need to see every transfer that's happened to give you my real thoughts, people, in relation to that. So we'll probably, I think I'm streaming Football Manager tomorrow, but we'll make it happen between now and Thursday. So yeah, of course, I'm looking to bring Cristiano Ronaldo into my fantasy league. That's £12.5 million well spent. The problem is, where does it come from? Because I've got Salah, Bruno, probably Ings, Calvert-Lewin, get rid of a couple fullbacks. Probably have to get rid of Ward-Prowse, just have some bog standard midfielders and just go heavy with them, man. I don't know how I would have spent all of that money, but I would have probably got Aouar and Kareem Adeyemi. They're two signings I would have looked to have made personally. Pardon me. Potential strongest 11, I don't know, man. But for me, the only things would be, can you have Smith Rowe and Odegaard, Martinelli, and maybe Pepe has to probably miss out of the starting 11. But for me, it's of the thinking of, I would like to go with Ramsdale because he's going to be here long term, but I would say Ramsdale, Ben White, Gabriel, or do you know what? Leno, Ben White, Gabriel, Tierney, TT, Partey, Lokonga, Odegaard. You could go with Smith Rowe off the left, but Odegaard, Saka, Pepe, Aubameyang, or like I said, Odegaard, Smith Rowe off the left, Saka on the right, and the big man Aubameyang through the middle. You could do something like that. Obviously, Kylian Mbappe, another mad bid rejected by PSG for Real Madrid. So yeah, they were prepared to pay 189 million. I mean, PSG might be just letting their muscles flex, but again, in a couple of months he could sign a pre-contract with Real Madrid to leave for free, and maybe they want to do that. You know, in the next few months, I guess they're hoping to persuade Mbappe. Maybe Real Madrid will turn their attentions. I don't know. We all know Haaland's stuff gets into, you know, next season it's all gazy with Haaland's release clause and all of those sort of things. So it's a bit of a dodgy one. Mbappe, PSG rejected. Madrid bid again. Let's call it that. It'd be an interesting one without a doubt. Hate to admit it, but Spurs have done proper business under the radar. They're trying to give Auer away, and absolutely no one came in. Something may be wrong with him. Pogba, Martial, Greenwood, Cavani, Rashford, Ronaldo, and Lingard for 3 places. Some men are going to be squad players. Obviously, Lingard, Greenwood would be all right because Ronaldo's not going to be there forever. Obviously, within those 3 years, Greenwood is still going to be a baby in footballing terms. And Rashford's still going to be about, but someone's not going to be happy. And what I would say is make sure it's not you, because like you said, all of them players, probably a couple of names being missed out, you know. Pogba's been playing off that left-hand side a couple of times, so that might even complicate things. Good problems to have if you're Oli, though. Saka is our best right winger. Smith Rowe on the right. Do you have Xhaka in your team, DG? Not in my team, but it'll be in Arteta's. You know, you probably have to, especially in a low block. You probably have to have one of Partey and Lokonga, not both. You have to have Xhaka there, but mad. So you have to see. Make sure we're hitting those like buttons if you're not already, folks. 385 likes, not quite 400. Running down the wing. Fair play, man. I'm happy to see Ronaldo back, man. Madison, Basuma, Owens, Isaac, keep Saliba with less money. I mean, they were saying 60, 70 euros for Isaac. Basuma's 30 odd. They were saying 70 for Madison as well. So that's 140. You know, Aaron's is probably costing you 35 to 50 million euros. So I don't quite think that's fair. I want to see Leno take long goal kicks towards TT like with Sagna in the old days, boy. Have to see. Mendes went PSG, exactly. Who's going to win UCL? Not a clue, man. But, you know, anyone that's got Lionel Messi or Ronaldo has half a chance. Maybe he needs shouting that. That's what elite level is about, though. Sometimes you can't hear good things. I mean, clearly people are just going to... I think the only one that's not going to fix up is Lingard, man. I can just imagine Lingard just putting Snapchat in Ronaldo's face, just messing up the base, man. But for what it's worth, people, I can't lie. I'll be straight up honest. I'm tired, people. So I'm going to get out of here. I've put a shift in. Time to eat and go sleep. So on that note, I'm going to get out of here. It's been fantastic being here for Deadline Day and all the streams. One love to everybody that's locked in. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. As I said, I'll be back tomorrow, 11:30. We'll proper review Arsenal's transfer business and has it or hasn't been a good sort of thing, people, really. Like I said, one love for everyone that supported the thing. Check out the pin message, hit the like button, do what you can to get it out there, and yeah.
Always just that active red line, defending. I think it's like